has ultimately reached the return.
I don't know what you're talking about or what you're trying to imply, but I feel offended.
Excellent. Mission accomplished.
I think that was the ring.
Oh, I hit the button. Who knows when we're going live, but
I already have. Hey chat, how's it going? Good evening, everybody.
When I'm live, you should do the intro.
Oh, okay then.
I want to mix it up.
So
Mix it up a bit. Fine. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to something a little unusual. Our first year anniversary for Armco, the community that me, myself, and I put together. Definitely not two other people as well.
Wait, I'm not live. I'm
Yes.
not live. I said wind. I said wind.
All
No,
of
we've
these
already
people-
screwed it up.
no, clearly all of
already
these
failed.
people are here for me, so I'll be taking all of the questions this evening, morning,
I'll
whatever
be-
time it is
what?
for you guys.
Who put this person, this random stranger in our chat room? What's going on here? Hey guys, okay, I'm live. Actually, I've been live for 30 seconds, but
Yeah, you're live.
now we're live. Let's do the intro.
So what do you want? Okay.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special evening, the first anniversary of the wonderful community that myself, Captain Shack, and morphologists have put together, known as Armco. And we've decided to get together for a little bit of a question and answer session. Try and see what you guys in the community think. So, Captain Shack, how you doing, man?
I am fantastic, except for, if you guys hear in the background, I'm kind of under fire right now. One of my neighbors decided to do some target practice as I spill
Not
over
at
my
you.
keyboard. And not at me, thankfully. But yeah, so you're going to hear that in the background. But I'm doing great.
Oh man, that's
And
mildly
it's the
hilarious.
anniversary, so I'm all ready to like celebrate. And I've had like 5 cups of coffee, so woo! Let's go.
Energetic stream. You don't look that energetic in your chair there, but perhaps that life will come to you. And of course, joining us from the other side of the world, no less, Mr. Morphologist.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, is that who
Hello.
that is?
I am absolutely on the other side of the world. I'm the furthest possible place I could be from Shack, 8,000 miles away on the opposite side of the earth. So yes, it is 3 a.m. for me. It is early. Hi. It's been a while.
So if he's a bit derpy, then we know why. And there is a link down in the video description of all 3 of ours. If you guys want to join in, throw some questions at us during the night, there is a special channel been set up on the Discord. Get over there. And we are also joined by 2 of our very, very fine moderators from Discord, Blitz and Textfire. How are you guys doing?
Hello. All right. Pretty good. Excited. Kind of.
Evening, everyone.
Okay. Hey guys. Thanks guys for joining us and helping out. I appreciate it.
So if you guys don't know, Blitz and Tex have been helping us run the Discord for a long time now. Blitz has helped me keep things organized, me and Wasted, and Tex has been on all the streams. I think he's on our channels more than we are at this point now.
Somehow, yeah. I don't know how that works, but he seems to have pulled it off.
He's done it now. If you look up the word Space Engineers on YouTube, the only thing that combines the top videos is the fact that Tex is in all of them.
That
So there you go.
there. Hey,
The special ingredient.
that is actually true. And even the ones where he doesn't speak, he's actually in them. Like some of the
There.
videos that I did where we're just like showcasing things or creating a tutorial, he was actually the guy flying around the ship that you see in the background.
He's always back there.
He's always
creeping
there.
on us. All right, so let's get some questions going. You guys ready for that?
That is the
Oh,
point of
so,
tonight, so yeah.
Okay, I have the first question asked by me. Morph, are you back?
Am I back? Yes, I would. I would.
you-
I would say I'm back in a sense. I'm back online. I'm wanting to make content, but I'm not actually back in the U.S. and I won't be because I've moved over here to Taiwan. So hopefully that answers your question.
I think so.
Is that how this works, by the way? I wasn't aware that the Q&A worked like that, but
Like
I could ask all the questions.
he's.
I mean, that
I
wasn't in the rules I lined out.
I thought this is why we had Blitz and Textfire here. Like Captain Shack is asking
No.
questions for everyone else.
It was last minute you were joining us, and I have questions. Actually, I had one question, which was, are you back?
Am I back?
So,
yes, I am
yeah.
back.
I mean, technically, Shake, you'd have to post it into the official Discord channel, so please can you do that now?
Okay, I'll do it right now. So if you guys want to ask questions, don't be me, don't break the rules. Go to the Discord, look for the questions and answers stream channel. Hey, where is that in our Discord list? Can we pop that at the top so people can see it as they come in?
Yeah, you have to follow the rules, man.
Because it's like
Follow
way on the bottom
the
right now.
rules.
Oh, I'll move it up just because you're lazy. I'll
Now
move
let's
it
do
up
a
next
little
to
intro
general.
before we do this, before we get into the full-on questions. The Discord. What is the Discord community? We should probably explain that for people who are going to be joining us from this stream.
Yeah.
There's bound to be a few people that don't know what it is. So yeah. And why these two wonderful fellas are joining us, because they are wonderful fellas and they put together and help us put together such an awesome community. So what is Armco, Mr. Shack?
What is Armco? Okay, so I will try to give the briefest of definition. So Armco, the Discord community, and Armco. Armco is the name that we've decided to take on as a community inside the games we play. So be it PlanetSide 2, Star Wars Galaxies, or hopefully Star Citizen, where the name actually originally came up when we were kind of brainstorming what our group was going to be called. Armitage Free Company, which is a bit of the lore from Star Citizen. So that's where the name came from, but that's kind of the gist of it. The Discord is a place where we of the sci-fi gaming community have kind of congregated to play all kinds of stuff, from Sins of Solar Empire, Space Engineers, RimWorld. Wasted's always played RimWorld on there. Like, whatever the games that we're playing, this is the place we go to organize stuff. We've got a great group of moderators helping us run everything, including a rank called FleetCom, our fleet operations, that will run events. And they run 3 or 4 events a week, it seems like, all the time going on. So
seems like there's always something going down, yeah. And even if it's not just stuff that we cover on the channel, it seems to have grown way beyond that now, with fleet operations officers doing just crazy events. We got stuff in armor, for example, which, I think we both enjoy, but it's not something we've ever really covered that heavily on the channels. And yet, tons of cool events going down, ongoing events with that as well, which is really awesome.
Yeah,
indeed. So,
we do have a great team on the Fleet Operations Officers team, and I will give them a shout out because they do an amazing job on running so many events that they can each week. So thank you for that, guys. You do make the community extra better.
Indeed. So I miss anything, guys? Is that everything?
No, I think that, it's a great way for us to connect with our audience and actually have conversations with people who are interested in our content, interested in things that we do. And the community is such a huge part of what we do. It's sort of, I don't know, it's kind of like better than anything else we tried to do in terms of making community, because we did try before. So I'm so glad that for 1 year we've been this successful. Let's keep it up, guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. And especially to you, Tex and Blitz, for helping so much to support us and the community.
I mean, I'm still waiting for my first paycheck, but that's just a thing, all right?
I was
paying you in exposure, guys. Exposure.
I haven't found out what the exchange rate on exposure is, though.
I mean, all I've seen Tex do is just build ships for Shaq while he sits there in a chair and orders them about. I mean, that's just me.
I'm drinking my coffee in an important manner, all right?
Occasionally, to be fair, Tex does tell me that he's absolutely blasted and wants a break from Space Engineers, and then 3 lines later is joining me for the stream later that night. 5 hours of awesome survival building, because he's a legend like that.
Why can't I quit you?
Wasted or Space Engineers?
Why can't I quit you? He's a driver.
Just yes, he says. Bull. All right, let's get to some questions. We've got to have a few stacked up yet.
Oh, there are quite a few. The chat is exploding.
Sure, I think the first question, which we could probably answer a little more thoroughly, is, and I just lost it, was, indelicately said, why don't you guys do group survival?
Morph, would you like to answer that question?
I will answer that question. Why don't we do group survival? Well, I'll have to say mostly that one's on me. I recently moved abroad to a different country. Country is Taiwan, and that has caused a lot of issues, and I just haven't been able to get on consistently enough to set down a time and say, hey, let's start recording. We still have to kind of work out the time difference, but I'm here, and that's what counts. This is like, I guess, sort of a really obvious test run for how streaming together is going to work while chatting in Discord and playing Space Engineers. You know what? It's working pretty well. So I'm thinking stuff bodes well. There's a good sign here that things are going to get going soon. So hope that answers your question.
I'm curious. Is Space Engineers freaking out for you now? Is it telling you that the ping is just absolute crap, or is it running pretty good?
It is pretty crappy, but that it's being hosted on your computer, and we've got tons of people in here. This isn't exactly how we'd be recording group survival.
Notice how he blames me.
It's not too bad.
Wow.
Oh, of course, it's his fault. I mean, we've always had problems with him hosting. I mean, let's just be honest here. We try to keep the hosting away from Shaq if possible. I mean, when we started this, Wasted was like, oh God, he's hosting. So, I mean, that just kind of says what's going on there.
That might have been a thing.
Welcome, everyone, to the blame game.
Yep. Welcome to one of our streams. Blade
1 year of
Shack's internet
shade.
connection for all your shenanigans. Yeah, 1 year of shade. That's what you get, Morph. All right. Go ahead, Blitz or Tex. Hit us up with some more questions.
The alternative name of this stream is throwing shade at Morph. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Shade at Morph. I'm changing the stream now.
All right, I've got a question from Commander Jack, who happens to be one of our fleet operations officers. Will any of you be making a series for Squadron 42 Episode 1 once the game gets released? That's for reference to Star Citizen Squadron 42 as well.
Who was directed that one? Or was it just a general question?
It's a general question to all.
I mean...
You know I'm pumped for it.
Absolutely. We've been... The whole community is based around the name Armco, and that's from Star Citizen. That should tell you a little bit of something of how we're interested in that particular title.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely interested in playing. Squadron 42, for those who don't know, is the single player for Star Citizen. So it's basically its own separate game. Now, I don't know if they removed the co-op aspects of that they had mentioned, or they even talked about having like the ace pilots in the campaign being possibly flown by players in a way that like people could just join in a queue and then they could be thrown into people's games just to mess with them, to give them more of a challenge in the fight. That probably has been dropped. I wouldn't be surprised, but if they do have co-op, I would love to play with you guys in a series of just like the single player story for the United Earth Empire and all that jazz.
Indeed, I mean, I'm far, far, far more pumped for actual Star Citizen rather than Squadron 42. I'm sure Squadron 42 is going to be fun, but for me, it's always about the multiplayer experience. You know, that's why I was always freelancer rather than X3, for example. You know,
oh yeah,
it's just kind of two different ways you could go about doing things, and I love the multiplayer side. So I'm intrigued. If they give it a co-op, hell yes. That's what'll do it for me. Co-op, yes. Give
co-op, yes, and especially because they're talking about like. They're going to use the orbit to ground mechanics that Star Citizen has already developed for the campaign. So in a mission, you may find yourself in a space battle, launching from a carrier, fighting in orbit, landing, doing ground combat, jumping into a vehicle, and then taking off with like somebody else's spaceship as part of the story, as part of the mechanics for the story. That sounds amazing. That's like every sci-fi gamer's dream of just the all-encompassing sci-fi game. So... Yes,
yeah,
please?
I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking for, is really the multi-clearing. I don't know if you guys remember, but Shaq, me, and one other guy I did a stream a while back in Star Citizen, and it's only the like what's currently the universe, which isn't a lot. It's just basically a station and a few planets. But we had a blast just flying around, and even had an unexpected encounter with somebody who tried to rob our ship from us right from under our feet, and that was just amazing. And that's only with a few things in the game that we can do. So I can't imagine what it's going to be to have like a full living universe for us to play around in, with cargo and places to visit and missions to run. I mean, all three of us, it's going to be like pretty amazing.
On the Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Bring on all the Star Citizen. Yeah,
for sure.
I'm just throwing some footage up on my stream now so people can just like, let's some of the game bits that we've done in the past. Just, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. All right, anyways, you can get me going on Star Citizen for the rest of the stream. What else we got?
Yeah, looking in the face of some of the live issues we have had in Space Engineers in the past, though. A bunch of us have just died. No one can get through doorways. I'm warping through walls. I'm down in the hangar at the moment.
While you guys
oh god, why am I dying? Why am I dying?
Because it's a survival game.
Wait,
I am stuck in the hangar.
This is a survival game? I'm out of oxygen, Shaq. What the hell? There's no oxygen in the ship. There's no oxygen in the ship. Why haven't you sealed the ship and run oxygen through it? Why would you do this? Why would
you should talk to the chief engineer of the ship. Oh, somebody died.
I'm gonna die.
Come follow me.
Question.
I can't get to the door.
Why would you go through the
so well already?
Why would you go through the immense effort of creating a large, small ship and not even bother to oxygenate it?
We're not there yet. We're still building this thing.
Okay, let's build the hull. Let's build the decorations, the seats, and everything. But let's not do the ventilation for the oxygen.
Hang on.
That's not important.
Rewind a second. Can we go back to the hall bit you mentioned?
Yeah. The hall bit.
Yeah.
There, door's open.
Go.
They're not working so great either.
Wait, you can't get through the doorways?
No.
I can hardly do it. No, it's not just you. I think it's a different latency thing here.
There's something weird with the doors, like the vanilla door. We're having a little trouble being able to walk through the hallway. Should work just fine. Oh look, somebody else died.
So I've got a question.
Okay, this has gone utter chaos. Where's the question?
I've got a question. Who designed this hangar? It looks like the Star Citizen hangar from the Starfair, and I just want to point that out. Anyway, go ahead. Real questions.
really?
So, the next question was Oscar asking, where did the name Armco come from? And I think that ties back into Star Citizen, because when you guys started this Discord server, it's the XPG YouTube Alliance, but it's almost been kind of eaten up by Armco at this point. So
It has been devoured by the name Armco, I must say.
You guys think we should change the name of the server?
I feel, I mean, in my opinion, I think that it has a little bit more character. It has lore behind it. We wrote some history. Well, I wrote some like background for it, and that was a collaboration between us. I think that sort of aspect of it makes it much more interesting, and kind of fun to use, because then people can kind of play off of that if they want to kind of do some RPing or imagining themselves in different roles. I don't know. I think it's cool. What do you guys think?
Wasted.
I'm game for it. I always felt
I forgot
like
it was a thing.
yeah. I thought that was what the Armco name was for, honestly, when we were first setting this up, and we just couldn't think of a name to begin with, because unanimously we are all terrible at that sort of thing. As I think everybody is. I'd
not imagine.
A month we were the YouTube Beard Alliance or something.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to meet the man that steps up and says, yeah, I'm actually quite good at names.
I just renamed it. Yeah, done. Live on stream. We just renamed it to Armco because I forgot that there was a button that we could change that. So there you go, Armco. Who wants to answer the history of the name? I think Morph should. You helped rewrite the background for it.
Free Armitage Company. Do you guys mind if I take a second and actually pull up the thing that I wrote, because I can't remember it off the top of my head.
You don't remember? All right. Well, I'll just say it. I'll just
not the lore master he claimed to be.
Okay,
He's
no.
like,
let me do it. Let me do it.
Then he writes it. He forgets what it is.
Let me do it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, so the Free Armitage Company. So Armitage was the one of the first planets attacked by the. Oh God. By the Vandul. Okay, they were one of the first planets attacked by the Vandul. And Armitage Company was an actual company on the planet's surface. And during this time, when the planet was attacked, Free Armitage Company took up the task of trying to help survivors of that planet. And this is a terrible explanation. Do you remember better than I do? Because I'm drowning here. I'm drowning.
You drowned. All right. Lifeline here. Let me help you out. So, because you're just a natural storyteller here. So Armitage is one of the colonies that was on the fringe of human space in Star Citizen. Armco was the organization. Armitage, the colony, got wrecked by the Vandul. Now, during the attack, the UEE pulled out. Right, the United Earth Empire, the military force for the humans, they ended up having to pull out, and they left a lot of people behind. Armco, the Armitage Free Captains, and a group of the military personnel came together during this attack and helped evacuate a lot of the civilians. But that was our home. So our lore thing is, we're the generations past that want to go and take back what's ours, right? Where we're from, where our heritage is from. So we want to go punch the Vandal right in the face, and that's kind of one of our motivations. Once the game comes out, we want to get into some fleet fights. Yeah.
Ragtag group of traders and ex-military come together to try and sort of free Armitage from the Vandal oppressors, almost having been thrown out and our home lost. The last remnants of that civilization and that society.
Exactly. So that's why we're a mix of everybody. You can be a trader, you can be an arms merchant, you can be an explorer. We're just free captains. We run our own businesses and our own ships. But when the time comes, when the call goes out, the free captains unite under one fleet or armada or whatever we need for the operation and kick the living crap out of whatever it is that we're doing. So there you go. That's it. And we kind of take that same role in the other games we play. That way we don't limit what you guys can do in those games with our lore. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We've even had, as an example of this, and Blitz knows what I'm talking about here, Life is Feudal. We had the Armitage, that
was brilliant.
And Life is Feudal is a medieval game. It's a medieval sim game, very sandboxy. And we had this whole lore about being the men of the North with our kingdom, and it was awesome. We're really excited. I know I am. I don't know if Blitz still is.
No, I'm for it. I'm for it.
And
even though I spent just too much time in that game, Tex knows this.
Taking a hole.
We grinded.
See, that sounds like, why am I not in on this? That sounds hilarious.
So much fun.
It was good times. That was a good solid month of really fun stuff. That was. I mean, we played for about 2 months, I reckon. Tex, can't remember how long we played for now, roughly.
I'm still under psychiatric care for that, so.
Oh, so are you? We must go to the same person.
It's very grindy, just so everybody knows.
Minor logistical issue. If you guys go to the container behind Shaq's chair, there's some oxygen bottles that are filled, so you can quit dying.
Excellent.
Oxygen
Minor
delivery.
logistical issue.
How survival works.
If you guys would like to live.
I think the next question is for
Minor
Blitz.
problems.
Yes, I've got a question from Zan the Third on the Discord. If people submit content, this is for all three of you, by the way. If people submit their own content, would you be willing to put more focus on community-created videos / content that's in line with Armco's interests? A la the commercials that we've already worked on, Jack, the teasers and everything else that being put on streams. Would you be willing to do more of something like that?
I would. That's kind of what I know we talked about this Blitz, and I think Wasted is kind of going the same direction with his live stream commercials. I love the community created stuff, like stories from in the verse of whatever verse it is, and putting it on the channel. Depends on what it is, obviously, because it's got to be appropriate and it's got to be to a certain quality level. But the stuff in Stellaris that I've been running has been a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm always open for more community related stuff. What about you, Wasted? What do you think about that?
Well, as the guys who have been keeping an eye on my stream will know, I've already kind of started running the stuff and having a lot of fun with trying to mix up, and the idea of ad breaks being something a bit more interesting than what you might typically expect, which is a lot of fun to do. And if people produce content that I look at and go, hey, that's hilarious, I want to show that, then that's what'll happen. Simple as that. I mean, obviously there's probably a good format people can approach, but speaking of which, on my stream. But
like one right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
But at the same time, it does come down to we really want to get involved with the community as best we can. I mean, the same goes for stuff like I'm kind of doing the same idea with Engineer Wars. So, the whole thinking behind Engineer Wars has been to try and get the community involved. And sometimes that's adverse, but sometimes that can be a bit more direct,
Definitely. That's Engineer Wars in a nutshell. It's literally the community fighting against each other, and then you end up spending a couple of days editing all the footage together and turning it into a full-on series, which is really awesome. I'd love to see more of that kind of stuff. I mean, my dream, we were talking about Star Citizen earlier, my dream would be to have, they have a news van in the game already in the lore. You could get it off their website and buy it now. I would love to run an in-universe news thing where a lot of the articles and a lot of the visuals you see are recorded from the community and sent to me, and then I transmit it out on the channel and also in universe if there's any kind of mechanics for that. But that's pie in the sky dreaming. Hopefully it happens. Let's see.
I can just answer a quick one here. Question: why is Wasted always muted? Because I just managed to once again mute myself, not for you guys, but for my stream only. Because I'm just genius like that. Because I try and set my stuff up too complicated, and then don't know how to use it.
Yeah, sounds fair.
That sums up so much. You guys don't even understand.
It pretty much covers everything I do, yes.
Oh, man. That's Wasted in a nutshell. All right, let's take this concept and let's just make this so complex that it blows your mind. I love it.
Why not?
That's why you get crazy stuff like Engineer Wars.
I've been gone for so long that I haven't even heard of the concept that you guys have shared. I haven't even seen examples of it, but what you've said is very intriguing, and I'm actually a little bit excited to even introduce something of that, into live streams or future videos. That sounds great. It's a great idea, and what you mentioned about Star Citizen, that sounds really cool too. I can see how that could really tie in, actually do mock news reports and have a reporter that we have from the community or something. That'd be kind of funny.
From the front line. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some from the Planet Side 2 guys in the community right now, because I want a report from Armco on the front line, shelling some base somewhere, and we've got somebody under fire yelling into a microphone. That would be so good.
Our table here is looking rather empty, I can't help but notice.
I'm standing on the bridge because it looks stoic and epic. I changed position.
Okay, you just abandoned us. I see.
I didn't abandon you. Though Morph is running around pushing all the buttons on the ship right now. I just saw the bay doors open up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Run off.
That's not
I'm
me.
over at I'm at the Mr. Coffee right now. Don't mind me.
Morph and pushing buttons.
That's not good.
Is this where
nothing changes?
Is this where I drive the ship? Is this where I drive?
You don't drive the ship.
Okay,
don't push the jump drive button.
Where's the button that turns on the big fiery thing in the back? Oh, this is 9. Okay.
Oh, he's gonna burn all of our fuel. You just make me sad, and I'm going to leave now. Abandoning the bridge. All right, what do we got for questions?
I've got another question here, and it's a question. I'm actually going to aim this one at Blitz because it's going to say, "What are there any events coming up from Cool Guy 1771?"
Well, Cool Guy 71. Let's have a look what we've
On the
got.
spot. On the spot.
On the spot as well.
Now remember them all, Blitz. Come on.
Specifically, though, could you
All
maybe
of them.
talk about the events, about the community community members that are running the fleet operations and how that's all run and set up?
Okay, so well, a couple of months ago, we wanted to kind of get forward with community events. At the current time of running it, it was just the fleet ops team. The fleet moderator team at the time. So we had the idea of making a fleet operations officer. These are the guys that they're your leaders. They go out there and they pick a game and just host an event in it. Particularly, we do try and aim the fleet ops team to lead a certain game. Just like we've got Lady Valkyrie in PlanetSide 2. We've got Sizer in Star Trek Online. GG runs more events in the RTS genre. We've got Commander Jack. He leads some various types of different games out there. I believe his last one was a Total War one inside the Game of Thrones universe. And I know there's an extremely good meme of Shaq posing as Ned Stark.
Yeah, saw that one.
I wish I'd have seen that.
That's the basic idea of it. Currently, right now, the Fleet Ops team have kind of put out a little survey to feel like what the community wants in terms of events. So please do go over and fill that out. That is in the community events section. So I'm saying for the next coming weeks, they'll know what you guys want to see. Like I say, it's all for you guys. So we want to know what you want us to play, us to host for community events. Just as long as you let them know what you want. That's all you have to do.
Speaking of community events, I talked to you about this, Wasted, not too long ago. And you too, Blitz, because you're the one that kind of brought the idea up to me from the other moderators. We're going to be doing first Saturday of every month, the Armco Command. We're going to be jumping in on a community event on Saturday.
Yeah, looking forward to that a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get back to doing the big mental events like the silly night in PlanetSide, for example.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so much fun. I love that.
I mean, there was one particularly crazy night, but
wait.
Obviously, we went back for loads more. But there was that first night where we ended up with like multiple platoons because we couldn't field everybody.
Oh my god, yeah, those were great.
Running. I've got that.
And then the blast at the end that we have where we coordinate everybody together, like everybody getting galaxies and ram into the enemy warp gate or something ridiculous. Or
let's go to the race. We did a quad race to the end.
It was a quad race.
Yeah.
That one was a good one. So,
Crazy quad race was amazing. I've done that before, and it's just a good laugh when you can take stuff, do something in a game that's a bit different to the normal as well. I mean, there's only so many games that let you do that sort of thing. Space Engineers being great for it, PlanetSide kind of having a few things too, but that's something that's always a good, fun thing to do with the community is just go outside the box a bit as well.
Indeed.
I realized that I have created a video or live stream for the Discord community, and I didn't even create a link to it. People are asking, how do I get to the Discord community? Oh, I'm going to put that in the description of my video.
GG, Morph.
I'm so good at my job.
Ladies and gentlemen.
While he's over here, like, stealing my ship. I see on the bridge flying us around.
Yeah, it's throwing my spectator camera all over the place. Just for that.
It's a mutiny. It is a mutiny.
Nice. Straight up mutiny. He's stealing the ship.
I've got quite an interesting question, if we're done with that one.
Yep.
Hit us.
How did you three meet? That's obviously a reference to Shaq, Morph, and Wasted. How did you three kind of get together and start doing your content?
Oh, hang on.
I've forgotten the person who asked that.
Before we answer that question, let me see. Do I have that? I should have that here somewhere. Video.
You see, you've got the video for this, and I don't, you git. I can't put this up, and you can.
I got to...
I have to find whatever you and me did first together on my side.
Well, you guys... Go ahead and answer that question. Wasted. I think you'd be the one to...
I'm probably the one to answer that one, because I'm sort of actually the end point of all things, in that Morph's to blame, as usual.
Yep.
I didn't know Shaq prior to any of this. We were doing all of that sort of, if some guys will remember, there was some stuff to do with Deep Space Nation that was sort of coming together. Some idea that we were going to make a community sort of, I think it was supposed to be a forum at that point, which I think is maybe the biggest flaw of the whole thing. But a whole bunch of creators were coming together. We were going to do stuff together, and it was going to be, hopefully, relatively fun, relatively interesting. However, because of generally what it's like trying to actually work internationally with people, it all fell apart. But what did come from it was I got to know Morph quite well. And through that, he was like, randomly, Shaq's recording a video this evening. Do you want to come along? I was like, yeah, it'd be quite nice to meet Shaq. I'll come along and help. And it was the first Star Wars video that I can't remember. Obviously, it's not the first Star Wars video that you did in Space Engineers. It's the first one I've been part of.
Yeah, this was the one with the Red Squadron. I'm trying to find it now, and for the life of me,
it was that video.
It was Red Squadron video. Yep.
It was the Red Squadron video with the A-wings, and we all barreled through an asteroid to attack some fuel supply thing. Like I made this whole scenario up, and it was a ton of fun that night. You guys can look it up on YouTube. I can't find the dang video. I had it for my trailer, but now I can, for the life of me, not find it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it all ended when I accidentally blind jumped when everyone else was supposed to be. We were supposed to be coming back to the hangar as part of the recording.
We were beat to hell. Our ships are broken, and I'm like, "All right, Squadron, let's jump out." And we were doing all the RP thing, and yeah, you were nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen, and role-playing that I was lost out in space and losing the plot. It was quite a lot of fun.
And you were, because it was like 4 a.m. for you by the time we were finishing the recording. So you were out. Yeah, you were losing it. It was so good. And that was my first, my first memory of wasted space is Lost talking to himself in deep space somewhere. It's so good. So good.
Oh,
that seems rather appropriate, does it not?
I'm going to find this video. I think I have it somewhere.
A beautiful precursor to the actual one. And he was actually doing that when we weren't even recording. So that was pretty funny. Anyway, that's fun. Go ahead.
I don't know how you guys met, but that's how I ended up meeting Morph and then meeting Shaq.
Well, okay. Well,
you just messaged me, didn't you?
I can pick that up seeing as how I'm the one who knows how that happened. So I messaged Shaq, and I wasn't expecting him to respond, really. What I was really doing is taking a look at all of the major players in the space engineer community and seeing if any of them were interested in getting together. I had a lot of luck at getting a lot of people together. By the time I had contacted Shaq, and that was intentional because I figured I should have some people together before I go after the larger guys. And to my surprise, he responded. Shaq is a really approachable guy, and when I first met him, I was really shocked to find out how nice of a guy he was. There was another person. There was another person that
really wasted.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just hear wasted in the background. That's bullshit.
Just a quick side note. One of the fleet moderators has found the video, Shaq.
Does it concern anybody we're caught in the planetary gravity of the nearby planet?
This is why we can't have nice things.
And there's a distinct possibility we may be colliding with it shortly.
That's what a massive surprise. This is not at all familiar, never happened before.
Excuse me, I'll be on the bridge.
Entirely new situation for us.
I'd also like to point out that turning on the main thrusters is not currently operational, and that is highly concerning. I hope you've saved a copy of the ship before we collide.
You make me sick. Get out of my bridge. Just get off my bridge.
I got out of my chair and
you burned all our fuel.
Of the ship.
Oh,
and we're falling.
Oh, that's right,
gentlemen.
Okay.
I've decided exactly what video needs to go on.
We're gonna ram the moon.
Where's episode 1?
I'm sorry, I forgot. This is survival.
This is survival, and he's like, I'm gonna mess around in the ship.
Okay.
We're falling fast.
Did you turn on the hydro?
And I'm dead.
No, we're out of fuel, and we're about to crash. We got about a minute. We got a minute until we hit the ground.
And then our medical room's not working.
And I don't think the chutes are gonna work because this is in an atmosphere, but I'm gonna open them anyways. That's a negative. They won't even open. It's been an honor and a privilege. I'm gonna try to lock onto the ground.
I tried to
chutes.
I'm so under the ship.
No! Go!
And it bounced.
And we bounced.
Hang on.
Space engineers.
Hang on. Why are we bouncing back up again?
The parachutes are just dragging.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna try to lock us onto the side of the moon, the landing gear, because raisins.
Did you actually think colliding with the planet would do anything? Did you think that was going to actually destroy us?
Shields, but we don't have this much shields. This was just silly.
Inside scoop, ladies and gentlemen. Jack has been cheating on his survival series.
Bullshit.
Actually, block damage is off. Actually, it's off. You never knew.
It is not on. Don't you start those rumors. So this is a natural landing position for this ship. I think we're fine here.
I can't actually get out.
For taking off, it's in a pretty good spot. You got the big thruster pointing straight down. I like it.
Well,
almost straight down. Close.
I guess I've recruited you guys for mining duty.
Of course. This is the whole point of that stream, just to get you more materials.
That's it, really. This is my This is me and Texas plan.
Oh, perfect.
Did you see that? Wolfie found the video you were referring to, Shaq.
Well, I was trying to find the video, like the actual
file,
copy, so I could play.
Oh, the actual file.
Yeah, that was my. Because you just look up Red Squadron, you'll find it. It's actually a really fun video. We've done about 4 or 5 of those community ones. I'm going to do another one, and I planned on recording it tonight, but I didn't finish the map, and I want Tex to be there for it. So we're probably going to record that some other time. So keep an eye on the Discord for a community recording session with the rebels going after the Empire.
I'm sorry.
The Empire going after the rebels this time.
The way that you said that, it just came off as Bread Squadron.
That's right. We're the Bread Squadron.
Bread Squadron.
I'd fight for the Bread Squadron.
Making sandwiches. You know what? Morph should do all the mining because he's the one that put us in this predicament.
I distinctly remember myself driving the vehicle in a way that I was permitted.
I don't have any more to show you guys. So, all right, next question. Sorry.
Tex,
so there's a lot of questions about individual things, but I'm going to try to pick out questions that are mostly addressed to all 3 rather than. Let's see. The first thing is a 2-part question. So, Mick68 wants to know, what are your thoughts about how big this Discord has grown? And Harry1863 wants to know, what do you all think of the progress of the Discord over this past year?
That's a good one.
Well, it's sort of a good one, and it's sort of not. No, don't mean any offense by this, but it's really easy to answer, and thus the answer is really short. It's been absolutely awesome. It's a totally different experience for all of us, I think, because we've never really been involved with a community like this and had this sort of different way of being able to actually chat and play with people. I'm sort of loving the fact that I can just jump on and go, hey guys, want to do this mad thing? And normally, there's a bunch of people willing for that, up for that, want to have a laugh. And just coming on and watching all these little channels slowly develop, and over the year, you end up with these spattering of people constantly on there doing different things together. It's just awesome to watch. I managed to make a long answer out of a short one. You see what I did?
Yeah.
Clever. I like it.
It's true, though. Like, that's the thing. I'm loving it. Like, for me, we've got, 13,000 accounts now into our Discord? It's crazy.
30,000.
Well, what it basically does for us is it makes any live stream we want to do somewhat semi-successful because we can get the community involved no matter what it is. Even if it's some offbeat game that nobody really plays much or some silly idea in Space Engineers, you're going to get people to be like, hey, I want to jump in, I want to participate. So it's great for that. It's kind of like we're using you guys.
It's pretty cool that we can jump into this stuff. Like we did Galaxies. We did Star Wars Galaxies a while back, and we had 40 people into that. I mean, the really random games it allows us
or
to
the
do.
STO, right? When we were doing that short series where we kept coming back each weekend. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to do it anymore. But just coming out of a mission and being greeted by 60 huge endgame ships and fireworks everywhere. It's like, oh my god,
going on the
what
station
is
and
happening?
seeing the uniforms saluting us. That's so good.
So cool.
I can't wait to that in Star
Citizen.
Citizen.
For me, if I got to say this, the biggest thing for me, the one that I love is yesterday. So Friday night, normally that's when we're the busiest. We had every single game room had somebody playing in it last night. Then there was everything Wasted was doing. So he had 5 channels with a bunch of people going on in there, and then we had a bunch of people playing STO and a couple of other games. And that's my favorite. It's people are coming here, because there's some YouTubers that do some stuff, but they are finding stuff to do. With other like-minded people, right? It's the best reason you go to a convention. It's because people love this stuff, not particularly the people running it to play stuff and do things. And I think that's the best part.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Engineer Wars is a great example of that. The fact that I've been able to actually make a series that is literally just people from the Discord community coming on and doing some crazy thing I've thought up, and that's doable with a community consistently. And the guys are so awesome to actually come in and take part and really take it seriously. That wouldn't have been possible without sort of a group of like-minded people like this.
Well, one could argue that the success of a community is based on the community itself's survival without the creators, and I think that the community is doing really well just kind of meeting one another and creating little events for themselves and using all those channels. That's kind of speaking to the point of the success of of this Discord is that we have a real community, and I'm really happy for that. I think that overall just makes me really happy with what's happened here with Discord. I'm glad we decided to do this 1 year ago.
And everyone knows, by the way, the first initial message on this server, everyone knows what it was. It's a message from Wasted that says, this server is bad.
Of course it is. Of course.
Yeah, of course it is, because this all happened at about, if you add about another 4 hours to now, that was about the time the Discord server was actually coming together. So we're not quite at 1 year yet, I don't think. We've got a few hours left because it was like late after Group Survival recording, if I remember.
The Discord's official birthday, is actually 4th of September. We've already had it.
But we couldn't stream on the day, so we had to change it. We've actually been lying to you guys. It's not the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, for like a week off, and Wasted just ruined it.
And that is the theme of the server overall.
That is.
We are lying to you.
When we were trying, I remember I was trying to get you to use Discord after Zot got me to like buy into it. It's like, yeah, this is actually really cool. Let's do something.
And then who had to sit there and set it up?
I'm true.
You had to sit there and set it up though for the first time. Okay, the mods have now actually fixed all of the things I did wrong, but still, I'm standing by that. That's why the first message is this server is bad. I knew it was bad.
Are you asking who had to fix it the first time or the second?
Well,
if
you were to create an anniversary message, Wasted, what would it be? In response to that.
This server is not bad.
What, in response to my "this server is bad" message from a long time ago?
Quite the opposite, actually. Yes.
The server's pretty awesome. I'm just getting some Engineer Wars footage up from last night up on the stream because that is the prime example in my mind of how blooming awesome this server is. It's just being able to do that sort of event and know that, for the most part, I mean, maybe roll the dice. The team that lost didn't have quite as much fun as Omicron, but yeah, it was a great fun event for everybody, I think, and hopefully people then enjoy being able to go and also see the video afterwards.
Oh, latency.
Yeah, I got a little laggy there. I hope you guys don't spawn stuff.
Yeah, so here's another question. Can you crash your exploration ship on the moon? Or if you want to answer that one?
I can. I think I can take this one, guys. I'm pretty qualified in this department. I've already done it.
He's been on the server for all of like 20 minutes, and he's already broken all.
No, I would say aggressively landed the craft would be a more appropriate way of describing what's happened.
Aggressive landing. I like that.
Hey guys, not to freak you out, but the moon's coming up real quick.
Having not spoken to him in probably 4 months.
He's already
within 20 minutes.
20 minutes, he's crash landed us on another planet.
Not just crash landed us on another planet, but potentially almost wrecked like a survival save. Like, just come wandering in.
So I've got
go
ahead, Blitz.
I've got two questions of a sort. One I can sort of answer myself, but it'll benefit everyone watching. It's from Captain Thorne concerning actually Life is Feudal as well. He's asking, will it return as a series or as an actual thing? Yes, it will return as an actual thing. We want to get Armco into the MMO stage when it finally comes out. I know there's an open beta soon, TM, but hold fire on that. We will be getting back into Life is Feudal as a whole, as a community. I know, Shaq, you're looking forward to it, so we will be getting back into it.
Oh yeah, I got a little footage running of one of our community events that we did back when we had that. We were on that one server,
yeah,
before it got wiped. That's why we stopped making those, by the way. After all the work, the server got wiped.
And we couldn't face anymore.
We were just like, no. Especially you guys. I mean, I was on when I could for events and stuff, but you guys were like you were making it happen, building all that stuff. So make this a little bit bigger.
And the proper question I've got for you three from Ezra Scarlett is, what microphone/headset setup do you guys use? Aimed to all three of you.
I'd say ways to answer this one. That's a hardware question.
Wait, you can't answer what you have yourself?
Shaq? I can, but you might as well just go to Wasted when it comes to technology. That's the man to
so
talk to.
Lazy. You won't even. Okay, hold on.
I'll tell you.
Shaq won't even bother to look at his desk and say, "Oh, hey, look, it's an Ellen Heath Z10."
220 compressor USB microphone. That's what I use. It works.
Oh boy. All right, Wasted. You can go, and then I'll go.
Well, you don't get to go.
What? Why don't I need to go?
That's part of the agreement.
You don't use a microphone, sir.
I don't. I speak purely into the
direct
internet.
to the brain.
Direct to the internet.
I thought we talked about this earlier with a taut string.
I have a direct morph internet interface.
There are plenty of. I mean, if you're just talking about what do we use, that doesn't to me seem like a very relevant question in reality, because normally what we use isn't that interesting. What you want to know is what's good to get, surely. So, I mean, if you want to know what I'm using, it's actually something that I'd recommend to get because it's cheap as chips. You can pick it up nice and simple. And as you can hopefully hear, it has a decent sound profile, which would be a Samson CO3U. USB condenser microphone. You can pick up any decent USB condenser microphone from either Audio-Technica, Samson, or potentially even Rode for under about 120 bucks. Often a lot cheaper, like this one, which you'll pick up secondhand for about 30 bucks, which is why it's a good starting point. And that's all you really need to begin with. If you want to then go into headsets, there are some broadcast-style headsets that you can think about using, but you'll never get as good quality out of it. And you might, if you go the full hog and get something like the Audio-Technica that Shaq's got, because I do think, or are you running a Shure?
Wait, what? What's the question?
He's got an Audio-Technica 1920 precision.
It is an Audio-Technica.
Condenser
Yeah, it is
microphone.
Audio-Technica.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
So
it's
that's an
letting you-
XLR output, which means he's running it through the Allen Heath Z10, which is actually a decent deck, but they're quite hard to get hold of now.
Yeah.
Plenty of decent USB interfaces.
This is why I said you gotta ask Wasted.
And then what I
He
did...
just sends me Amazon links. He's like, "This is awesome. Check this out." It's the reason I have a Stream Deck now. I absolutely love this thing.
Wait, to be fair, I'm the one who told you to get the Allen Heath Z10, Mr. Shaq. Well, yeah, actually...
Wait, who told you to get the Allen and Heath Z10?
I told you to get the Allen... No one told me to get the Allen Heath Z10. I did the research on my own.
Wasted told you to get it.
No, he didn't tell me to get it.
No, I had no part in that.
I don't really. It just sits in the corner.
Oh my
Just
god.
saying.
I'm
Just saying.
I'm real sad that you're not even using it anymore. Well, anyway, I'm using an Allen Heath Z10 with his Shure microphone hooked up to it, and let's
you
see.
with the Shure.
These are DT770 Pro.
Wait, was that a Z10? You've been in Taiwan too long, my friend.
No, it's literally called a Z-E-D, Z. It's not even just a Z10. It's a Z10. It's a British company, Allen and Heath. I mean, so
It's a correct company.
it's a correct company currently, and it has something called a British style EQ. If that makes any sense. Basically, you can attenuate the highs, mids, and lows, and then you have a little adjustment to kind of play with one of the adjustments for the highs or the mid actually, and that gives you a pretty rich sound live. But you don't really need that. Like Wasted said, if you really want to get into this sort of thing yourself, and that's the question, I sense it probably is, then you just need a simple microphone like he suggested, the Samsung USB microphone. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, if you're looking to get into this, there's a whole bunch of better resources than two guys talking about the Discord community at this point.
Yeah, indeed.
About hardware.
Hey, well,
So-
here's the plug for the Discord community. We have a tech chat where people will do their very best to answer these sort of questions. I dive in there from time to time, and people are always welcome to dive into the Wasted Cave as well and ask tech questions there. And there will be people that can answer them and give you decent advice. We've got some good guys kicking around.
Well, I would like to be fair to the guy who asked the question. It is a Q&A, so it is fair to answer. But yeah, if you want more detail, go to our tech section. They're going to be able to help you out even more. So,
Indeed.
I think it's all about the content and the personality, not about the hardware.
Well, I mean,
Okay. I'm going to pick out the 3 individual questions real quick. We've been doing group questions. So, rapid fire style. Shaq, what's your favorite coffee?
Changes weekly.
Okay. Mr. Wasted Space, are you going to do more airsoft?
I've been working on it for a little while. There's obviously always recording problems with Airsoft and getting my head around how to do that properly, but I've got a full season of Airsoft stuff coming up real soon. Hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that.
Is this
And
the
what-
thing in the mall? Are we allowed to talk about that?
No, it's not a thing in the mall. I did get a bit of gameplay from that, but it was so dark that you basically can't see anything for most of the time. No, this is a series where me and a friend take 2 completely basic starting airsoft guns, the sort of guns we might recommend you buy for the very first time, buy them ourselves, and then go through the process of finding out all the things that are wrong with them, telling you how to fix them, and upgrading them in a sort of competition fashion. And I can tell you from the recording already, it could not have started more perfectly. I'm not going to say any more than that, but it started perfectly.
I'm excited to see that. We want to see some more airsoft from you. All right, what else you got, Tex?
Morph, what is your favorite food and how are you enjoying Taiwan? And
What
that
is-
may be associated.
Oh man, I don't know if I have a particular favorite. I've got so many things that I like, but right now what I'm really digging is are mangoes. I mean, it's not anything specifically like food, but it's pretty darn good. But if I guess I were to say something more of like a specialty food, I really like real like Japanese ramen. That's pretty dang good. Not like the stuff you get in a cup, but the stuff that you have to actually go to a restaurant to get that's made and prepared and labored over. That stuff's really good. And I'm loving Taiwan. Absolutely loving it. I'm actually there right now, as I said before, sitting in the office that I've prepared specifically to do content. So I'm super happy to be here now and actually being utilizing the space I've designated for content creation. Hopefully that answers the question.
It's the content space.
It's the content space. No one enters unless content
The
is
creator cave.
Oh no, Jack, why did you do that?
It's the creator cave.
No, not the creator cave, please. No,
Yes. I've been to the creator cave. You guys don't
you
understand.
trainer. You're tainted.
Well, I wasn't part of the creator cave. I've just been there.
Did you step inside the creator cave?
I haven't
did.
the Explosion Enclave.
Just to cover this for anyone who's wondering what the hell we're talking about here. Yeah, E3, and it was it Bethesda?
No, it was EA.
No, it was EA.
That's why we say the creator cave.
That's why it was so cringy.
It was,
But
that was.
Bethesda can be a bit cringy, but not that cringy.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
I wasn't part of the streamers. This was, if you guys don't know, that was the Battlefront shindig that they did. So Battlefront 2, when I played that, they had the creator cave on the streams, and they talked about it. They had a bunch of YouTubers in a big circle, and it was really cringy. Myself, and I think it was, what was it, Angry Joe and a couple of other YouTubers got there like really late. We got the last 2 computers to do some recording, but we weren't part of the stream bit. But it's so ridiculous. The creator.
And then they recorded all these guys and didn't have any audio from them or anything. It was just occasionally they just cut and had a thing up on the screen.
They had them streaming to their communities with no audio overlay. It's like, what? It's just footage. It's like, okay. Anywho. Sorry. Next question.
All right, then. I've got one for all 3 of you. This might be a bit of a lengthy one. I'm going to butcher this guy's name terribly. Raziel? Oh, you're going with what you got. Are you guys looking forward to any particular games coming out soon?
Yeah, we knew this one was coming.
Oh, yeah, of course you did.
Total War! That comes up. That's the soonest. I think that's the most recent game.
The nearest one.
Month, right? Yeah, the most nearest one. So I don't know if we're going to do I'm going to do any content on it, but Total War, Warhammer 2. I'll probably do a video or 2.
We can do a bit of co-op in that, I feel. I'm certainly hyped for that, giving it a try.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's got those nasty elves in it as well, which I quite like.
Dark elves,
So,
yeah.
Yes.
That's
Well, and you guys should also probably mention too, we've already talked about Star Citizen and the future plans for that, but there are some other games coming up that you guys have given some coverage to. Dual Universe.
Yep. That's actually getting an alpha if you've got the pack. You can't buy the pack anymore, but if you already had the pack, you'll be able to get into the alpha, I want to say, next month. So, or like they're going to have people playing it really soon, surprisingly soon. So, and we got a organization, a Armco org in that already. So make sure you go and check that out if you want to join us. Dual Universe. That's going to be fun. What else we got, guys? There's so many games.
We're kind of still hanging on Star Citizen 3.0 and have been for just an indefinite length of time. I really hoped that we were going to get something interesting, some sort of announcement out of Gamescom this year, and there just wasn't anything. It looked cool. Everything was exciting, but there was no big, and by the way, 3.0's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. They just did a burn down episode yesterday, and their must-fix bugs have finally dropped back down, because the one before this, they actually gained more bugs than they fixed after fixing a couple of bugs. So hopefully soon, 3.0 drops, we'll be able to do a lot more in the game. You can see like trading and cargo running and stuff like that, so should be good. If everybody inside the ship currently, just to take this a little off topic, would grab a seat and hang on to something. I think we got hydrogen now. I have been running around and gathering up some hydrogen for us.
How are you doing that?
How do I get to a seat? Help!
I can't help you if you don't know how seats work.
I'm flipping through the world, so that's
I don't know where the seats are, Mr. Chan.
They're on the 3rd floor.
I will take my seat in the cockpit.
No, not again.
Get in. I'm opening the bay doors for you.
Flipping through the world.
Oh.
Wow, yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, it's really bad. Wow.
Hi there, Shaq. I know that I may have gotten us into this predicament, but I'll be damned if I don't get us out.
I shall...
What? No, you are not flying us out of here. You've got us stuck. You've lost your ship privileges.
All right,
You've lost your flying privileges. You're not getting stuck on another. You've even turned on the hydrogen before I was ready. You're burning our fuel already.
I didn't turn it on.
You're bad.
I left it on.
You're bad. We're taking off.
Go on, I'll rejoin in a minute.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't answer. I didn't answer my question, but I mean, I didn't ask a question for me, but I think it's going to be the same for these guys. I'm still looking forward to Star Citizen. I still want that to come out. That's kind of like my number one. Dual Universe, definitely, because, you know, I'm a big fan of space engineers and building games. I'm really interested to see where they take that. Aside from those two titles, I mean, everything else is just kind of like, okay. Star Wars Battlefront, kind of, but, I mean, EA always breaks and botches things. So we'll have to see about that. I thought that, you know, the Battlefront 2 demo that I played, I got to play closed alpha, was pretty great. I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to it, I guess. It's better than the last one, at least. The last one was just, oh god. Could make a whole video about how bad that was. It's just such a huge disappointment. It's a huge disappointment. They're like, we don't need a single-player campaign because our studies have showed from Battlefield that people don't play the single player. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get us started on Battlefront 1. It's a trap. That is a hole from which we will not escape.
Yes, indeed. Let's
Unlike
get out
the
of
gravity well that you got us stuck in.
Speaking of escape, yeah, we seem to have done that without too much difficulty.
Yep. Well, we almost ran out of fuel, but it's all good. We're good here. We're all fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. You're now free to walk about the cabin, and you're
wait.
respawn,
I forgot something on the planet. We have to go back.
We're not going back.
You'll see the seatbelt signs have illuminated.
I was going to say, that sounds like an airplane captain right there.
If you look
You may
out
now
your right
exit.
window,
And walk around the cabin.
This is
you'll
her
see
cap.
nothing but dark, empty space.
Hi guys, this is Co-Captain Morphologist speaking. You
Did
may
you
now
give that official
feel free
title?
to move about the cabin. I'd like to thank you for flying with Morphologist Airways. I'd like to apologize for the diversion temporarily to the planet below. That was not my intention. I don't know how to fly this vehicle.
You got to get the uhs in there, though. We do apologize for the diversion. We always do that.
This is your flight attendant speaking. We'll be providing food service shortly. In the incident of turbulence, the captain will turn on the seatbelt sign. All right, another question for you guys.
What you got?
And this is actually addressed to all three of you. So as much as you guys obviously like your viewers, Synthweasel IJW1983 says,
Oh, presumptuous.
has there ever been a time when they've just gotten completely and absolutely on your nerve, sending you excessive messages, tagging you in posts, and spamming? And how do each of you guys handle that? Alcohol?
Is alcohol like the question for the solution?
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
You don't think this is just coffee, do you? No. Yeah, I get these weird like love letter messages from this guy named Morph that just never stop. Every day I look at my DMs on Discord and it's just like, I love you and I want to be part of your channel, and it's really disturbing. But
No,
you know, I deal with it. Therapy.
If I could take this one as well, I mean, I think it's the opposite way around for me. Like, I have this infatuation with this individual. I think you may know him. His name's Captain Jack. I always message him, and he never messaged me back. Or sometimes he says some really snide or evil remarks towards me. Sometimes it makes me cry. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I was going to rename this stream Throwing Shade at Morph. Right, let me just
do
that real quick.
Seems legit.
I don't have any problems with
Shades
that.
of Morph.
All right, so
I got a great Discord. Like, I don't, this is the same for Wasted. Like, we've got the Discord guys that help us a lot with dealing with a lot of like the troublemakers. The way that I have described the rules on the Discord when we were coming up with them was, I want this to be like you're coming into my living room. You don't just say whatever pops into your head, because then you're going to get kicked out of my living room or just kicked. So that's kind of like, don't be a jerk. And that's how the Discord has been run. And so I don't have a lot of issues.
There has occasionally been the odd rule added or modified because things have gone not ideal. Obviously, that does happen from time to time. But, I mean, I certainly deal with it by being a bigger troll than they are anyway.
Because you are a bigger troll than they are.
I am a bigger troll than any of these guys. And so, in the end, I'm just laughing.
Don't be fooled. He's a jerk. You guys don't know.
I am.
to be clear,
Does this also mean we have to rename the Discord to Shaq's Living Room?
We're just going to keep changing the name of the Discord.
or the Shack-tatorship.
The living room.
Well, we did
that was
spend a
like
while
my
when trying to
idea.
pick the name, trying to think up a name for like some sort of space bar, you know.
Yeah.
It was your 10 forward of sorts, but we could never come up with something decent.
Yeah,
That's
Again,
how we got
where's that guy that says I'm good at
Alliance
names?
of
I
Beard.
want to know him.
that's not
Beard
the
Alliance.
that's not the question, Mr. Wasted. You must now answer the question, Mr. Wasted.
I think he did. He said he trolls them harder than he gets trolled. I
Yeah,
guess.
you did. Okay. Well, I didn't answer.
I
All
know.
right. Next one.
No, I didn't answer. He's just skipping me.
You don't get
Next
one.
one.
Moving on.
You've lost it until you're back at like running stuff. That's when you get full like question rights. All right, go ahead, Marv. I'm just messing with
you. No one bothers me. I'm not that popular. No, I'm just kidding. Sort of. I have had encounters with people who do those sorts of things, and the best thing I found to do is just kind of, I guess, try to reason with them and talk to them if they're a reasonable individual. But if they start like spamming me too much, then I just block them, because there's too many people who do that on a daily basis that I can't really, keep up with that sort of thing. But I just try to handle it very civilly, in all honesty, and I will directly talk to that person and see what's going on if it's becoming a really big issue. But otherwise, just kind of leave it be. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, and I think at the risk of answering the question I just asked, I think that it's also worth noting that these three guys are very involved in the community. They're very approachable, and they've got a moderation staff which definitely spends a lot of time making this a good place to hang out.
We try.
for everybody. Like, that's the big deal. You've got everybody's here is welcome. Yeah, there you go. All right, I think we answered that question pretty well.
Shaq, take us to that asteroid. We must do
If
mine.
you don't say so yourself.
I think I do. Trying to take us to an asteroid, but we are out of fuel because somebody burned it all doing loop-de-loops earlier. Not saying who, Morph, but I'm just saying.
I wasn't driving. You were the only one in the seat. How dare you? How dare you? For the one time I didn't do anything wrong.
Crashed on the moon. You crashed on the moon because we ran out of fuel, sir. Somebody was doing loops.
Okay. That's
right,
partially on me. Say it's definitely
I've got a good one.
Partial design issue.
When did you all start doing YouTube, and what caused you to each of you start doing it? So I'm looking for prologue stories here, all right?
You want origin stories?
Oh, origin stories.
Origin stories.
Origin stories. Yes.
Well, let's go. Who started it first?
Definitely not I. I didn't start my. Shaq, I think you're the oldest YouTube
I think it's
channel.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you count me being like a weirdo and uploading a couple of RC videos back in like 2007, then.
Yeah, I had a couple of those like old videos.
Yeah,
like my
exactly.
account is super old, and I had some random videos on there. But like, I think my first video on YouTube is just a clip of the release of PlanetSide 2, where I was flying with the Devil Dogs, and it was just a big group of air units. But like, why did I start? Boredom. Like, I was playing a lot of mods. I really enjoyed it. I was watching a lot of Gopher's channel back in the day, and I'm gonna die from oxygen deprivation again. Don't mind me, guys.
Not again.
Let me just get out here. So yeah, I had just gotten my private pilot's license. I'd gotten out of the military. I was going to school, and I was playing a lot of like Star Trek Armada and a bunch of different mods, and thought, you know what would be cool? Why not, while I'm taking a break for one semester from school, because I just burned out after getting that pilot's license. I'm gonna do a YouTube channel, and I'm just gonna make like mod content. It'll be fun. I got the Star Trek Armada devs on here at one point, which was like the best thing ever. I remember what I did. It was like I got to interview them and talk about how much I love their game and how much like of my life I just hours poured into that mod. And then eventually the channel got big enough to where I was talking to Tabby about this, well, my better half, and it was like, you know, I could make this a full-time job. Like, people are really enjoying the content. I wonder if I should do it. And I'm like the 10,000 sub mark right now. So, nowhere near making enough money to live. I was like, hey, this just bought me a case of beer. Maybe I could do this full time. The dots didn't connect quite well, but I did it anyways. And then I ended up working over at TGN, but that's how I got into it. It was like, hey, I want to share this thing. And I did. So there we go. The XP Gamers was born. 5 years later, here we are.
Wasted, go ahead, seeing as how I'm the most inactive member of the community, I'll go last.
Well, I've just stuck on what you could probably call to be my first ever video, which was a highlights video of my university clan, who we all lived on the same street. We'd been playing together on a closed network for the first year. All got together in the second year. So, first year we couldn't play off LAN, but there was like 150 person strong Counter-Strike following with a couple of servers constantly populated. 3 clans started playing in a tournament, all on closed LAN. It was just a ridiculous experience. And after that, next year we played some CS together, did pretty damn well, to be honest. And I ended up making a video of that. And I think what drove me to it was the fact that I've always loved the video editing side of things. I really enjoy putting together, creating that side of stuff. And so I was actually trying to run my own business, and it was a pretty poor idea. Not going to go into that side of things. It was 3 years of my life I'd rather not think too hard about. And right at the end of that, when it was all starting to be pretty clear that it was falling apart, I was like, screw it. I'm going to make a few videos. And I put a few videos online. I did a couple of videos on the games that I was playing at the time. One of them was Nether. There was like Banished. I think RimWorld was really early on. And I did a couple of cinematic videos for like Titanfall, which I showed earlier, and The Crew. And there was a few random little ones. And again, it was the same sort of story. As it went along, I was like, I am really, really enjoying this. And people seem to want to watch what I'm making for some reason. I don't quite understand why, but they seem to want to watch it. So, you know what? Screw this company, this thing that's been sucking the soul out of me for the last 3 years. I'm just shutting it down. And with what I've got left, I'm going to throw myself at YouTube and see whether that works and see whether I can make that a thing. And, I mean, hell yeah. I'm having an amazing time at the moment being able to do all this stuff. Put together stuff that people are actually willing to watch. Still blows my mind a bit, but yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I still have those moments. I've been doing this for like 5 years now. I'm like, this is what I do for a living now. I was forecasting the weather, but now I like talk to mod developers and freaking play video games and just share stuff that I would be doing anyways. Like, this is great. So,
well, you say that. I think that would perhaps slightly downplay the fact that actually things do change a bit. And it's not the same as just, I'm just playing games. I just play games the whole time. It's not like that, really.
Different.
That would be
that's
doing
not the way
yourself a bit of a disservice by putting it that way, you know?
True.
Yes, we create content and joy in people's lives, so...
Morph, what do you got?
Yeah,
that's a very weird statement, but what do you got?
I know, it's a very weird statement. I'm a very weird guy. All right, well, to be honest, the way I started making YouTube, or started doing YouTube, is just kind of conceited. I looked at what YouTubers were doing because I was watching content back when I was playing games, first-person shooters. So I was playing PlanetSide, and I was playing DayZ. I hate to say this, but it's true. And I just realized that a lot of the content I saw on there was pretty simple, and I was thinking, I used to do something similar to this. I used to do like basically shoutcasting and broadcasting on for Counter-Strike way back in the day, and I kind of wanted to get back into something like that. I've been kicked out of the faction.
Out of that seat.
I'm flying us towards the asteroid. We're making us go towards the asteroid. Anyway.
Into the asteroid.
Anyway, so I just thought, this is something that I feel like I could do, and I just wanted to give it a try. And my first video was pretty crap. It was on PlanetSide. It's actually still on my YouTube channel. You can find it if you scroll back far enough. It's a picture of a light tank. It wasn't great. It was a really long video, not even edited, terrible microphone volume. But I had a blast making it. And after that, I realized that there was a lot of joy in actually creating it. There was joy in the craft. And then I started just kind of pushing myself to make better and better content. Unfortunately, it wasn't one of those things where, I immediately got recognition from people. People wanted to watch my content. Nothing like that. I didn't really ever take off until I started playing Space Engineers, and that was purely out of interest, not out of a want or need to grow my channel. I mean, I was going to school at the moment. I didn't need it for my job. But after I played Space Engineers, it just started to take off, and, I met Wasted, and then I met Shaq and a bunch of other great guys, and now I'm just kind of loving what I'm doing a lot. So, I mean, that's kind of like the origin story of me. Nothing spectacular or special. It wasn't like an explosion of popularity or anything like that, like some YouTubers experience. It was a slow, gradual burn and build up through a lot of hard work and a lot of time put into making videos.
All right, there you go, guys. There's I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, Finesse answered it really well. Tex, you're up, mate.
Yeah, let's go back to the 800-pound gorilla in the room, because I don't think there's a day that passes without a question about when group survival is going to start up again. And obviously, I think he answered that. But the Clip Notes version, it will be starting up again soon as Morph has reliable, stable internet in the time. But Shadow One. It says, how long does it take to make a group survival episode? Stretch Wings says, would you be willing to share any of your strategies for writing the script for group survival? And I'm going to add an addendum of, can you describe how exactly it became that 800-pound gorilla that ate all of your lunch?
Oh, who wants to unpack that one?
Oh, that's a huge question.
Well, we can start with one of them, which is that there is no script for group survival. However much people might like or might think that it's scripted, there is no script for group survival. There is an outline of a story, and there is a ton of improvisations and retakes and recuts. Because, to be honest, that's how the whole mindset of group survival started, was with something that was in theory just going to be us playing the game.
Yeah.
And so it's still kind of recorded in that way. We've just kind of evolved to multi-camera positions and spectator camera and all sorts of other stuff. But in the end, it's just, okay, in this scene, we're going to be doing X. And then we do it. And there's not much more than that.
But I don't
that's
think
what we kind of go after. It's like we've got our story points that we want to make sure we kind of get to, but we just have fun figuring out how we get there. So
yeah, I mean, part of it's I don't want to be completely unfair. It's not scripted in any sense, but it is. There's an idea of where we're going with what we're doing. It's not like we're just randomly creating the storyline as we go. We kind of plan things out in the beginning of the direction we want to take the series, what the big secrets are, and things kind of evolve along the way. Sometimes we accidentally into things, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Why don't we expand on this? That's kind of like the creative process. But the actual creation of the show is kind of we try to keep it a little bit more free and open to doing things that aren't like written down and set in stone, because otherwise it just gets kind of exhausting, to be honest, to have to follow something like a script.
Part of the fun that keeps the story going in weird directions is the limitations that we have. I mean, we're playing in Space Engineers, so as the series progressed, you guys saw it in the first and second season, where we're at in the second season, that the game would change. Things wouldn't work. Some things would work better, and so we'd have to just adapt to that and make it work. Because at the end of the day, I guess like any other of the old sci-fis where they were making an episode every other week, you just make it work. You got to get an episode out. So, and I think that some of the best moments came from that. By the way, I have an episode from season 1 playing right now in the background, and it's our campsite that you put together, Wasted, with the fireplace. You did the fireplace.
That was amazing.
Oh, that was
which
really
I think
good,
is like a light down there and like a beacon. And
there's a light underground and some stones dropped in there, and then like a block on its side, so it pokes up like a bit like a A-frame that you built out of wood, except of course it's metal. Yeah, I was quite pleased with that. That fire was one of the better ones.
And it's one of those things, like, how do you make it work in Space Engineers and get the point across of what it's supposed to be? We're limited by the game engine, right? So it's fun.
And that kind of touches on one of the another part of the question, like how long does it usually take? But that was part of the question, right? How long it takes to do these sorts of things?
Yeah.
How did it become?
How
such
long
a
does it take for each
well,
episode?
That kind of touches on it, because creating that fire was actually a lot of fun for him, and kind of creating that whole set, and every set that we ever created was a huge blast. And we were doing a lot of this before we had the community, so we were doing this all ourselves on our time outside of making content. Believe you me, it took us a long time to do these things, and oftentimes I have to admit that I was the one who spent way too much time making a set, because I just love detailing things. You know, my trade is architecture, so I kind of get a little bit too much into it. But that's definitely a huge chunk of it, kind of planning things out.
Some people got to see the set that Morph had made, and then get the words, okay, now it needs to be bored out. Yeah, that might have been a thing as well.
Yeah,
you know,
that might have been a thing.
Well, what I built this massive reactor room. It's hugely tall. I envisaged it being a huge open area, and this thing's going to be spinning in the middle. It's like, yeah, okay.
Now
so
let's dig it out.
My voxel tool that extends at this point in time to a maximum size of, I think it was 10 by 10 or like 7.5 by 7.5, something tiny. I'm going to do this, am I? So it's, I can't remember how long it was, like 12 hours to bore out that end base from the end of season 1 just to get all the voxels like cut out of it, let alone building the rest of the thing. It was stupid.
I need a gigantic flat surface. Go.
But as for those episodes, they're probably the biggest undertaking that I've done on my channel. I mean, those were huge. Those were get the sets, get the props built, figure out what we're gonna do with it, then get it all recorded with 3 different people, then edit all that audio together, figure out how the clips are gonna work together, fight space engineers tooth and nail to get what you want out of it. It's better now. Like, I'm looking forward to, hopefully, if Morph is saying he's back, maybe when we'll get back in, we'll be able to see what the multiplayer is like for us, and be able to record. Like, I'm watching a bit right now where Wasted, you're rolling down a hillside, and we just ran with it in this truck. You're in the general lead. You're like, oh crap, you for whatever reason decided that the wheels didn't need to be on the ground anymore, and you're end over ending it, and we're just like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's meant to do that. It's totally fine. We're just going with it because that was probably take 4.
Yeah, but that was that last episode, and to be fair, no, it wasn't because it was take 4. It was because it was really super crazy late at that point that we were doing those last scenes. It was ridiculously late. It was like 4 a.m. for those scenes. And the General B, as I've covered many, many times, is completely uncontrollable. So there was no fixing it. It didn't matter how many takes we took. That thing was going to do that all the time. It's what it does. So, yeah, there was no more to it than that, to be honest.
Yeah, and
I do not miss it.
Like, you had the generally that wouldn't stay on the ground. In season 1, when I had the aircraft that we built, the ultralight, there was a period of about 2 weeks where when you landed if you had a ground vehicle with small wheels, the wheels would sink and you couldn't move the vehicle anymore. They would just like sink into the voxels, but just the wheels, and you couldn't move anymore.
You did use small wheels.
I did use the small wheels, which are worthless. But it was fine. And then a week later it wasn't. And now I can't take off anymore. And I'm at a part in the story where I have to take off. So suddenly you see a cut from getting into it to us in the air because I couldn't take off anymore.
Now, I've got to...
Stuff like that. No, go. You're good. Go for it.
Just continuing with that same line, I've got to admit that some of the stuff when it comes to, I think, other perspectives, so when it's not the group perspectives in group survival, some of that becomes a little bit more scripted. Not completely, certainly not for me at least. It's never completely scripted, but there's a bit more forethought put into it, especially with stuff like, I've got my Sharon episode on at the moment, and stuff like that had a lot more sort of planning placed into how it was all going to play out, because it kind of had to some extent.
Right.
But also, when you're working with other people, like I've got Jarvis, for example, then things evolve a little bit, and you're dealing with someone else that you do have to send a script over to and say, hey, these are the kind of the lines, even though we do record that together. I don't just get a file back from him with lines in. That would be a bit artificial.
I don't think we're letting on just how much of an issue Space Engineers has been in the process. I don't want to code it in any sort of niceness whatsoever.
You don't want to sugarcoat it.
No.
Everyone have a seat in the ship, by the way. I'm going to make us jump.
Okay, sure.
I have spent quite a lot of time trying to fix various crap that we've had going on with Space Engineers, like just maps and just other things that just weren't working.
Yeah. Sorry, Wes.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, there would be some times where we would...
You get...
Oh, God.
I told you have a seat. We're going to jump.
I couldn't get in it. It wasn't owned. It was owned by you. I couldn't get in. I feel betrayed.
I was definitely in it when you jumped, and now I'm not. So, I guess I'll die. Anyway, so, yeah, there was these times where we would plan out an episode, we would make the set, we would have all these things ready, all these props, and then virtually the next day when we were ready to start recording, nothing would work anymore. And then Wasted would have to spend the next 2 days trying to figure out what exactly went wrong.
The changes.
That's why there's so many different versions of the map, for example. The map's all been broken up into pieces now because we cannot keep all of the pieces on a single server. It just couldn't take it at the time. Maybe it can now, but it could not at the time.
I think it might be able to. Like, I'm pretty happy with the changes that they've made so far. Like, my experience in multiplayer compared to the olden days has been substantially better. As Morph crashes.
Yeah, that's
pretty funny.
That was pretty bad.
Well, Engineer Wars, though, is an example of how Space Engineers multiplayer has got better. It would have been mind-blowing to even consider it, Yeah. And okay, we reached about the limit last night when it comes to what it can really take, and paid for it a little bit when it came to time, and the teams were very kind in waiting around for that long. But it doesn't change the fact that the game did, once they were in, hold together. And we had a lot of fun, and we have been for a number of weeks now. And then there was EFM before that, and you're doing your survival series and so on. The game is kind of trying to pull itself back to something serious. I'm hoping, really hoping, that I've got an interview coming up with the guy that kind of did a lot of this coding to fix this stuff.
Cool.
Because I would like to talk to him and find out what the hell it was he did. What did you do? What was wrong? We all want to know what the hell was wrong. How did you finagle this thing into actually working?
What did you do wrong?
Or do right.
Well, no, do right, I think, is the one. Yeah.
If he's the guy that fixed it, yeah. What did you do to get this working?
I mean, I'll admit, right now, it's not looking great because I keep spawning outside of the shit and you're jiggling around like an utter lunatic. But we do have people from literally the entire globe, essentially. We've got full coverage here. Whoa, straight through it. Lol.
Well, I'll get back inside.
Oh.
Obvious follow-up question.
Yeah. Well, the sort of person that enjoys, even in the slightest, a bit than Space Engineers is your game. And more and more, it is becoming a game that is actually worth playing as a game. Now, you will still have to make your own fun a bit and find mods that are going to help you make your own fun. You have to be happy to mod, but the workshop support isn't bad, to be fair.
And that's why he says Space Legos. It's totally make your own fun, for sure.
But to be fair, the number of hours we have all sunk into this game, I don't think any of us could fairly say anything otherwise. You know, for the price we paid.
Indeed. There's a big old military fleet near us.
It's cents an hour.
Oh, yeah. What are we up to? I'm up to like 2,000 something hours. You're probably up to 3 or 4 by now, Wasted.
I haven't looked recently, but yeah, it's going to be something nice and high.
I've got a very nice set of questions from Admiral Darla on the Discord. One in for each of you. So, Shaq, you're first. What has been your favourite series to record so far?
My favorite series to record so far.
The one you've had most fun doing.
Oh man. My initial reaction was I was going to say the group survival, but that would also be the most painful one that we've done for all the reasons that we've already discussed. I think the funnest ones would be like a very close second would be the community Star Wars videos that we've done. So going back to the Death Star trench that we did really early days. Wasted Morph was in that one. I don't know. Were you in the Death Star trench?
No, I was not in the Death Star trench, unfortunately.
It was just me and Morph. Okay,
I was
me and Morph, and the game was barely able to handle that. But those
you did it at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was super late for you. But like those ones, because those are a lot of like the community members are there helping me make it. The last one I did had community members who were in it actually doing the voices for the characters. That one was the one with the lat. So I think those are probably some of the ones that I enjoy. The recording process can be a bit of a pain because I'm asking people to hang out for like 5 hours to get all the footage, but the editing is so much fun to hear everybody's lines and to see it all come together.
Yeah, it does sting. It does sting because they're always long sessions because Space Engineers does ensure that that's what's going to happen. But what you end up with at the end is damn cool.
And I would like to say that, I mean, I know you say that it was the biggest pain in the butt, but I think that we had a lot of fun at some point, kind of like when we get really loopy towards the end, and it was just like kind of falling apart. It was like, okay, we're going to have to end this session soon.
We've said so many times that we wish we had some of that stuff like, properly recorded so that we could actually find it and put it up, because there's been some hilarious... I mean, just one of the things that we often do when... Because we end up getting B-roll for takes. A lot of what you look at is a B-roll rather than a main take. We've gone and done the audio, we're doing our best with the cameras while we actually record the scene, but then we'll go back and we'll kind of mock and we'll walk over our footsteps again in order to get a second take that we can use for filling in the gaps. Because inevitably you're going to edit the audio a bit and there will be gaps and it doesn't quite work. And it's those B-roll takes that are the hilarious ones, because those are the ones where we go back through our same lines again.
Yeah.
Sort of. In that it's kind of mostly just full-on shade and taking the piss out of ourselves and each other.
So our characters are moving around and we're just like mocking ourselves with it. Oh, those are some of the best.
And at this point, Morph failed to get out of the damn chair and derped around and screwed up my B-roll footage. And yeah, and then
Oh, run away, guys. We're running away. It's super scary.
We're running away. Wow, it's scary. Look at the drones that aren't there because we have to wait those in later. Look at them come. Look at them come. Wow, run. And then there'll be an explosion.
This is the part where we're talking and we're talking.
Also
and
isn't there.
Like those scenes that you actually see us chatting in like third person. We're actually not saying anything remotely related to what the lines are.
On the second run, yeah. It's like, all right, now I got the next final shot.
At this point, Morph's doing the exposition. This is where he's giving away what the plot is about 3 hours before the people actually need to know.
This is Tex taking apart my ship right now. What are you doing, Tex?
Lipstick.
Oh my god, those are a huge blast. Definitely. And I think going forward, we're going to have to try to record that stuff because it is pretty darn funny. We could make it like a hilarious video, kind of all that put together for sure. And just for us,
can I steal your
I'd love to see it. I'd love to just go back and kind of see some of those moments because those were pretty freaking funny. But yeah, in the end, I mean, like,
are you on the roof?
If I were gonna,
sorry, Morph.
No, it's okay. If I were gonna put a ratio of like time put in versus the actual length of the video, it's like 20-1. It's pretty ridiculous. We put so much time into an episode for just like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on how long we're able to get that episode out for. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's worth it. I think in the end, we don't do it for necessarily. I would say for the views, we do it kind of for the love of the craft. I think for all of it. I don't know if I'm speaking for Shaq or Wasted, but for me, it's improved my craft immensely just because of all of the things I've had to learn how to do to make certain scenes work and to make some specific parts of the script work. Well, not script, but kind of idea of what we're doing work. That it's kind of made me a better YouTuber. It's made me a better editor. So I'm really, and it's also made me two really good friends. And I don't want to get too cheesy here, but it's kind of the truth. Anyway.
Ah.
No, that's true. I'm going to stick on that there are bits of music from Group Survival that give me the chills listening to them because they're from certain moments, normally where the edit has just been extreme. Like the piece of music I used at the end of Season 1. Like, I listen to that now, I'm like, okay, this is a special piece of music now. Because it's tied up with that. Kind of the same with the Sharon episode and the end of that one. That was like just a ridiculously hard edit for me. I had a crazy idea in my mind as to what I wanted the whole episode to be like. And I don't think I necessarily achieved it, but each time it's pushing yourself a little bit further. Mostly because I just really, really, and I'm sure the same is true for you two, want people to buy into this story. I love the idea that we're actually legitimately telling like our story. Like this is our little world.
We're making a sci-fi. I grew up with all the great sci-fis, like watched Next Generation and all that, and to be able to say like, hey, even if it's a tiny sci-fi, but it's ours, it's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, so. I have to say I get a lot of little like terrible joy out of like inserting little references to some of our favorite science fiction shows. I mean, that's we virtually referenced every single science fiction show I think that we love.
We're working on it. Yeah. There's got to be a few left, but
there has to be.
I've been trying to represent the British side of things. We got the odd Red Dwarf one that's snuck in there, for example. That most people won't notice, but it's there.
A couple of the red versus blue ones, had some fun with those. People got a kick out of that, and of course all the Star Trek ones that I love so much. But I don't remember what the original question was.
The original question was for you, Shaq, about what was your favorite series to make.
Oh, right. So I think I answered that, I think.
Yeah, pretty much answered that, yeah.
Yeah.
The next question is directed towards Wasted. What is your favorite ship that you have made in Space Engineers?
Wow, that's difficult. Well, it's sort of difficult. I think actually I have an answer for you. Because I keep going back to it. And it could well be... Can I have admin privileges, please, Mr. Shaq?
You may very well.
It could well be the Rapier, because and the Broadsword, those two, because they're sort of become kind of iconic as that way of doing sort of flying ships, which is always cool. But in reality, give myself some creative mode tools. I think it has to be the one and only Beast. Where is she? Simply because of how I think it's a really cool looking design and how damn unkillable it's proved to be in the long run.
You're in our faction, right?
I can vouch for this.
Yep. Okay. You're all good.
Making sure you're not going to blast the crap out of the oh my god.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
It has to be the Partisan. It really does. It's not a complex ship, but just does the job so well for what I wanted. Yeah, it's not going to fly in the slightest now. Neither am I, apparently.
We're in survival. None of the ships that we could paste in would fly. None of them are made for survival, except for the packs. I think the packs would definitely fly.
That's why you got to load your ships with oxygen before you, blueprint the suckers. Saying.
Sounds like effort.
This has got some big-time weaponry on it. Wow.
Yeah, look at the rocket in front.
The frontal launcher is pretty good at tearing things apart. Okay. The main thing with it is more how it actually how it performs as far as how it flies, because it is deceptive, to say the least. It flies like a rapier, and if you turn on aerodynamics, it flies even better.
Definitely. It's a lovely looking ship, I must say.
Not my prettiest or anything, as I said. It's just that it's because it's the one that was best at what I wanted it to do. I wanted to build a ship that when you tried to kill it, you couldn't. With anything that was even half sensibly, up against it, size-wise.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it did.
And I've actually got 3 more questions, because there's actually a question for you, Tex, and a question for me. But the next question is for Morph. I know you answered this kind of earlier. How are you enjoying Taiwan? Are you all okay and everything else? So I know you answered it earlier, but just for those that are coming up.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm enjoying Taiwan a lot. Just trying to get adjusted here to the schedule, trying to get adjusted to working remotely and everything. But I think I'm ready to go. Like I'm here. That's the point. Like I'm super glad I could make this event as my first official return to the world of YouTube and to meet up with these great 2 guys, which I have to say I've actually missed. So.
Oh, Morph.
I know. Even though the unofficial name, even though the unofficial name of this stream is throwing shade at Morph, so
you made me spit my coffee out, Wasted. Jesus. Sort of. I heard that in the background. All right. What you got?
Right,
hear these
text
and text questions. That's what I want to hear.
Text. The question from Admiral Dala Watt is: are you possibly planning a possible mutiny against Shaq on the survival streams?
As he sits in the captain's chair right now.
Exactly.
The one that he built, by the way.
Timing is everything.
He's just swivel around wearing his cow suit.
I guess my first question is, why do you think I would telegraph such a thing on a stream if it was my plan? And my second answer would be, I don't really need to. I just will keep making changes to the ship while he's taking coffee or taking a nap or
every time I come out of my corner,
not streaming at all.
Okay.
There's the truth of it.
Sorry,
let the
Tex,
roast
but
begin. Wow.
I had to.
It's so true.
You really need more thrusters on that ship.
Maybe braking thrusters.
Yeah, you need more ion braking thrusters.
God, if only somebody would put braking thrusters in this thing.
That's kind of our running gag on the series. It's every time we start to do something, we always talk about how we need braking thrusters, but we never actually install them. So good. So good.
And the final question directed towards me is my favorite part about hanging out on the Discord. Well, I mean, the Discord's an amazing place. I've seen it grow from absolute utter pit of chaos to what I'd like to think it looks semi-organized. I mean, right now it's utter chaos due to the new people we got joining, but we've got our mod team on it. Shout out to those guys. I like coming on, just talking to people. We have as you said earlier, there's a whole universe of people on this server right now, going on 13,000. It's nice to hear from people across the world. I've now made new friends over the year. I've now made some people that I would consider close friends and everything else. I need to get more involved in community events. I must join in some sooner or later. But no, I love being a part of it, and it's been awesome to be a part of the year. And I would like to see it continue for many, many, many more years going forward.
Definitely, it's good. Good hope. I hope so as well.
It will. There's no hope.
Wait, what? There's no hope.
I said there's no hope. You have to hope anything. It's going to. Unless they shut down Discord. This Discord's going to keep rocking.
Yeah.
I've got a follow-on question here, and unfortunately I've lost the name here, so I apologize. But what else are you guys planning on doing with the group survival universe? Do you have plans for a prequel before
that's a great question.
the captain and Wasted met Dr. Morph, or a follow-on episode for if and when you guys ever escape from Planet Bob?
Can I dive in here first?
A little bit?
Yeah, Wasted.
I don't think he's qualified.
I am qualified because obviously I've talked about this in the past and it's yet to actually surface. I still have plans to do it because I can't just abandon that side of things. But yes, I have a full prequel script already written. This one's going to be scripted. It's going to be using people from the community. It doesn't feature any of us guys. It is going to be one that I'm going to direct and edit rather than actually star in myself. And that is most definitely going to be a thing. And I know we've also talked a bit about what could be there in the future, but I'll hand over to you guys for that one.
Well, I would say, from what I know, not directly involved with any of us. Anyway, so the okay, so I think we've had discussions about this, but nothing's really set in stone. I think what we're really excited about, going after this season, is the idea of moving kind of beyond our current location and kind of looking more. And I'm not going to explain too much into like how we get there. It's not really like for sure this is going to happen this way, because I don't want you guys to think like this is going to be the conclusion of the series or something. But getting into space somehow and kind of doing a little bit more of what Space Engineers has to offer, because we've been on a planet for so long and kind of limited by what we can do there. And so I think that sort of aspect of it, especially considering how much has changed in Space Engineers since we began the series, is really kind of exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen again. I don't want to set anything in stone, but just kind of a thought that we've had. So I don't know if you want to expand on any of that, Shaq.
I mean, the only thing that I got to say is like it's up in the air right now because we just got Morph back for this stream. Like we have to test like how can we record and stuff like that. So for anything future plans for the series, I'm just gonna say it's in the air. Like right now is the time where things are shifting, where we're actually getting some action on it. Because like I've been saying for every stream we've done since we took the break, we're waiting on Morph to find out what's up. Not to put all the blame on your shoulders, Morph, but we're waiting on Morph
repeated
to find out what's going on. Do we? If he's not coming back because the internet's not gonna work, we're gonna have to do something else. We weren't gonna let it die. We're gonna. I may have to rocket and shoot him into space. But,
I love it. Two completely opposite. As Shaq says, he's not gonna die. I'm like, are you gonna die, Morph?
So there you go. That's the answer.
Vote I got now.
But
Shaq gets to decide.
Straw poll. Here we go. This is called crowdsourced writing. We're gonna do this now. Let's do it.
I'm doing a funny dance on the top of the ship. Anyway, I hope that the fact that I'm actually in the stream answers a little bit of that question, is where is Morph and how is he doing and is he ready to do stuff? I hope this answers a lot of that just by my presence.
Ask that question in a month.
Ask that question in a month, yeah.
Let's see if we've gotten a video out. Let's see.
Indeed.
I
guess this one doesn't count.
Brutally honest. So there you go. What else we got for questions? Any more good ones popping up?
You just done yours, haven't you, Tex?
Yeah, he was like, is he gonna steal my ship as he sits in the captain's seat, answering the question?
All right, I've got one from Darth Revan, 2732. It's obviously not the original. He's talking about Eddie's question. He said, have you ever thought about doing community events or community games within the game called Foxhole?
I played Foxhole. Foxhole's a lot of fun, actually. Will we do a community event? I don't know. Because here's the problem. So Foxhole, if you guys don't know, is this top-down World War II. I think they've got like 150 people on the servers at one time, and you're fighting over territory. And it's actually a lot of fun. So you work on like everything. You all use Discord for all their community stuff, and you can talk to your team. It's got some type of integration where it's like area-based, but you could build buildings and you could build vehicles, and there's a whole resource chain and stuff. The problem is, every time I've tested it, the servers have been on the edge of being full. So I'll get in and I'll be that one guy who fills the server. So it goes from 149 to 150. Boom, you can't get anybody else on there. I don't know if it's changed since last time I played it. But that's the problem, because we could bring in 60 people easy. We could fill one of those servers if we did an event, unlike PlanetSide 2, where we can get everybody on.
There's only so many places where we can actually do that sort of stuff, you know. There really is. It's such a limited thing. And if anyone has any suggestions, I mean, hit us up on Discord. That's a great one. You know, games that are capable of handling big numbers of people who are also potentially noobs. And it can't cost too much either, you know, or free if possible. You know, this is the problem. Is so many criteria you've got to fill in order for this to work. It's got to be free. It's got to be capable of loads of people being able to join. They've got to be able to join and have fun straight off the bat. We've got to be able to group together and actually play together. It's a hard one to arrange, but obviously we're constantly game for doing so.
I just threw up. Oh, I think I'm dying in game. No. So yeah, talking about games, the one that always comes up, I've got the footage up right now. EVE Online, it is now free to play, sort of, kinda, and it can hold our numbers, but it's like it's very few games allow us to do that thing, and EVE is just
it requires so much time investment. Yeah, I mean, like if you really want to get into it and have a big fleet or something like that, it requires a lot of setup. And
it fails the one that says can just jump in and do it off the bat. Unfortunately.
Yeah, totally. That's good way to put it for sure.
Unfortunately, I've got Dreadnought footage up at the moment from a video I haven't released yet, and it's a sort of another game that could be amazing for it, but lacks one of the mechanics that's just necessary to make it work, which is you can't make custom games. That could be hilariously good fun, you know, especially as it can have 9 people aside or whatever. That's some decent numbers. You get up to 20 people in a game, rotate people around, and so that could be hilarious. But again, it's just another game that doesn't quite match.
Yeah, that's kind of like why we've gone back to PlanetSide 2 for so many times. It's just such a great platform to get lots of people together.
Just jump in.
Yeah, you just jump in.
Jump right into that sucker and have some fun. And it has its issues, but it's still a good time. So.
Oh yeah, certainly does.
I think there's some options in STO as well, isn't there, for large fleets?
Yeah, I think it's for certain events and stuff that you can do. I mean, that was one of the issues where it's like you have to get to that point and everything.
You have to be at the right place and the right.
Yeah, but the inherent issue with the MMO is that not everybody's going to be the same level. Therefore, not everybody can do the same thing and benefit from it. So, I mean, that sort of has its issues too. So
that's why I think Star Citizen's one of the more interesting ones for us, because there's no level system and we can always use a hand.
Yeah,
right?
And I don't know, I guess it's not going to work this way in the future, but the way it's worked for us streaming Star Citizen so far has been, you know, pretty good. Aside from getting on the same server with one another, you know, once we get that established, it works pretty well, especially because, you know, if somebody wants to come and crash the stream, it's pretty hard, because getting on the same exact server, same exact instance, especially if it's full, is pretty hard. So but I can't wait until the future that when we can get lots of people together, like in a ship. I think that's going to be real special.
I'm just playing random footage now off the old hard drive, guys. So you're like, why is he playing Fractured Space footage? There you go.
Oh, lol. So you've got Fractured Space on and I've got Dreadnought on, just for maximum confusion.
Yep, let's just really mix it up. Oh, man. Good stuff.
That's been fun to play, to be fair.
There's been a couple of questions related to this, so I'll paraphrase. But so obviously there's a lot of people that get really inspired by the group survival series and have really enjoyed that. But there's also a lot of people who kind of feel motivated to make copies of everything that you've done in Space Engineers on their own, just by watching the video footage and trying to doing spin-off series.
The builds, there's a great advanced R5 bot that somebody made. It's so good. It's just like...
Well, there's a full rebuild of the end map of Season 1. Someone who's gone and watched through the video, and they've got it almost perfect just by watching.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that one. That's impressive.
I've heard of that one, actually.
But there's a lot of also people doing like spin-off series and that kind of stuff. Do you guys have like you want to lay down some guidelines as far as when people want to call back to your content? Do you have a problem with that? Is there particular restrictions that you'd like to put on it?
I don't think there's a problem other than the fact that you've got to understand that this series has been thought through perhaps a bit more than people realize. There is a backstory to it that's there and exists, as I referenced with the movie earlier. There is a bit of an idea that we've got for where things go forward from now. It maybe needs to be reassessed. Obviously, with Morph's situation, we don't know what's quite going on at the moment. All I would say if you want to get involved with the universe, try and keep some distance, but keep within the same universe, and it will give us more room to kind of keep that, and maybe later down the line make that something that's canon.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like
that's a great
big
rule set.
universe
Yeah,
that people are playing, and we're all building on the lore. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's ever changing, right?
It's ever changing, and there is a bit of the universe already built up as far as the movie's concerned. You know, the movie does cover a bit more of the universe than just what you've seen in Group Survival. I don't want to say too much, obviously, but there is more there. So if you can do something that is going to be your, I don't know, your Cylons from Battlestars, something that's either disappeared for ages or is something we've yet to contact, then you're in for a winner, because it just sits there as an option for us. And we go, oh, this guy's made this awesome collection of stuff that, you know, is designed to be out on the rim that we haven't found yet. So our first contact with you can be something that maybe ends up being included, rather than trying to get too ingrained into our lore, where it becomes very difficult for us to work around what you've done.
Yeah, indeed. And actually, speaking of the lore, somebody put together a great wiki for us. And forgive me, I'm not quite sure which one's been the most updated recently. But if you wanted to update yourself on like what we've covered so far and what the Federation is and what all of our ships are and whatnot, you can go over there and check it out. But I think what Wasted saying is spot on. Like, as long as if you stay kind of within the universe, but not tied down to too many details, kind of vague, if you will, and further away from us as characters, it gives us more room to actually discover you or explore that in like a future episode. So,
and send us stuff, like community created stuff. Send me a direct message on Discord when you've made it and it's out there. Like, show me. I love that stuff, especially if it's crazy builds on like R5 and things like that, or artwork and stuff. I love getting those things. So, just saying.
Yeah, I'm just buying into that mindset that people obviously want to build something that works as being part of our universe, and actually want to get involved with that side of things. And I know that if we do get back to recording this stuff like we want to, there will be more community involvement. There has to be, for us to make this work properly, in honesty. You know, we got to the point where it was 200 hours on an edit. That's not tenable. I'm sure you guys can realize, in a 2-week period. That's why we went to 2 weeks instead of one, was because it was 200 hours to get one episode out. So there is going to be need for help from the community. But I know people really want to get involved with the story and have their stuff included in the story. And I think the best way to do that is build something that's been geared around the idea that we've not encountered it yet within the story, because then there's loads of freedom to just bring your stuff in. And of course, we don't want to disappoint people, but the more you try and say, oh, and we've been trading with the Federation for years and blah, 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 it starts to roll over the top of stuff that we might be doing.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to avoid a bit of disappointment, you know, because people have already sent me stuff that I know they tried to sort of make, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but we can't really do that, and I can't even tell you why, because it hasn't happened yet.
It's not a thing yet. Yeah,
and
understandable.
I like the idea of kind of involving the community, and I think the series could be better for it, because not only does it kind of cut down on the time and kind of racking our brains to think of what's going to be great for the next episode, but it kind of gives us something to work around, but also gives you guys a chance to get involved. and oftentimes it'll probably be pretty darn awesome. I mean, things that you guys have come up as a community are pretty impressive, so I don't want to overlook that either.
All right.
All right, and I've got a question for actually me and Tex, but I can probably answer that myself, to be honest. People are asking Tex, do we have a YouTube channel? Myself and yourself. I don't. 100% I do not have a YouTube channel. And Tex, I don't believe you do you, mate?
I have a YouTube account, and obviously I keep playlists there. For instance, I've got playlists of all the different, all the episodes of Escape from Mars, and a playlist from the modding, exploration modding streams, and just random playlists that I've kind of curated of random stuff I've found on the internet. But I don't stream separately from these guys here. And I really don't have any plans to do so right now, any more than I'm doing right now.
We keep him pretty busy with projects.
Assassinates me and takes over my channel. We all know how this is going to go down.
Yeah, but me and Tex have got a deal going down. We're going to kill all three of you and then combine it into one mess channel.
Going to be a mutiny. I'm standing on the roof now of the ship. Any other questions, guys?
There's plenty of them. Just sorting through them.
I've got one follow on if you don't have one, Blitz.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
So this one's a little more general, and it was actually aimed. It's from Wandering Radman, and he wanted to know, asking Shaq, but I'm going to ask all three of you. So, where did your names for your channels come from? When did you start being called Captain Shaq? When did you start being called Morphologist and Wasted Space? Where did those come?
You guys want me to start that one?
Go ahead, check.
So my name didn't come from YouTube, actually. I got the name. So when I was in Japan and I was doing my Air Force thing, so I was over there with the U.S. Air Force. I had this dream of buying a sailboat and just like taking off. I was going to turn my BDUs into shorts. Those are the old uniforms we used to wear. They've actually replaced those now. And I was going to just take off, grow a giant beard, have my big cigar. That was the thing. So it was the kind of the running gag. So people started calling me Captain Check, or my crew did. So that's where the name kind of spawned from there. Not that I was a captain or anything like that. So, and then I used it as my handle. I started using it on my handle for all my stuff, for gaming and related. And then eventually I just turned it into the YouTube channel name. So that's mine. Pretty simple. Mason, you want to take off?
Wasted.
He's dead.
Probably muted again.
We've lost him.
He's been muted. I guess I'll
Morph,
go.
where'd you get your name?
Okay, so
I've never heard this.
have a great, I don't know if it's that great of a story of where it comes from. So when I was in my last year of university for architecture, I had done an architecture project called Paramorphogenesis. I'm not going to go too much into what that entailed, but it was pretty fancy name because the project was pretty complex and it was my capstone project. But I took a morphologist out of that because I thought it was just kind of a cool name. It's not actually a word, so a lot of people have called me morphologist or just I don't know. I guess there's some other few names, but it's not actually a word. It's just a name that I created based off of my capstone project from my undergraduate degree. So that's it. Nothing fancy.
Cool.
Sorry for that. As some people will know from my stream experiences, at the moment I have a moggy that is uncooperative. Let's put it that way.
Not again.
No, not again. No. This time I caught her beforehand. But yes. Let's not go into that particular story. The kitty, let's say, has been ejected for the room. And, okay, the story of my name ties back to something we talked about earlier, actually, which was my first videos and the CS clan I played with. When we left actually staying on campus in the first year, moved into actually doing a clan that was playing online as one group, we ended up calling that clan Wasted. Primarily because that was a relatively accurate representation of our lifestyle at the time. We were all computer science students, pretty much, that spent a lot of time playing Counter-Strike and, other than that, clubbing and so on. So, yeah, good times. And when it came back to creating a YouTube name, I actually played for many, many years under the name Blue, B-L-U. That's what I played back with the clan, and for the whole time I was using that name. And the channel exists on YouTube, and it's been locked and deleted for copyright violations or something. Serious violations, it says. Man. Years and years and years ago.
Wow.
And they would not give it to me. They would not give it to me no matter how hard I tried. So I was like, fine, I need to come up with something else. And it needs to be something that's unique so that I can get it everywhere. So I went back to the mindset of that original clan, Wasted, except I didn't stick with just Wasted because, to be honest, that wasn't quite right. And I quite liked the continued play on the idea that you have no idea really what my name means. Wasted could mean absolutely anything. There's a number of different ways in which you could take it, and of course you add space on the end, and then unfortunately you occasionally end up saying my name in combat, out of context. And just all of a sudden you're like...
Intentionally.
And then there was a lot of empty space. All of that empty space, or dead space, or other things that aren't.
Wasted. The back of your ship here seems a little undeveloped. I would say some of it's been wasted. Space.
What?
Killing me.
Space has been wasted. Okay, no, I just want to say it's come up many, many, many times, and I get shit for it all the time, but it's okay because I get shit all the time for everything. So I get a little poke.
Yeah, well, huh.
I get to poke people here and there.
Welcome
sometimes.
back, Morph.
So,
know,
so
right?
you want me to ask the question from Admiral Dalla, which was, how did Morph become the butt of all the jokes?
I think he invited it on himself, in reality.
Volunteered.
I have this
Put himself forward.
Sign up, yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand how exactly I have this ability, but I have this ability to make things explode or break in ways that you could not possibly have foreseen or prevented. And so
Boggle the mind.
I don't think it necessarily boggles the mind that much. There is some explanation for this. We have now known more for long enough to know that there is a little bit of explanation for this.
Oh no.
As an example, just as an example for today, what was the first thing you did in this stream, Mr. Moore, for those who have joined us after?
Attempted to fly the ship towards the nearest planet to see if I could skirt its surface, but instead crashed it upon the surface because I didn't realize we were in survival and we're out of hydrogen.
So let's see, 20 minutes into a survival ship that we've spent, me and Tex, 4 or 5 full streams, maybe 2 months building. You crashed it into a moon, is what you're telling me?
Well, not intentionally.
On the first time that you ever
not
set
intentionally.
foot aboard it. Not intentionally, just a random accident.
Yeah, it just happened.
It's funny how these random accidents happen all the time.
Well,
Just saying.
I've got a
good intentions.
How you hollowed it out on a stream. You were like, oh, I'm just going to change this thing. It's just not even, Shaq. And then boom, every subsystem inside my build is gone. And it's just us.
That was
I think it goes beyond that. I mean, how many hours have been lost to, guys?
Oh, guys. Yep.
My fucking recording didn't save.
then
My fucking capture card, it didn't save.
My audio scotch.
My audio's gone. I don't have audio for the last 3.5 hours. It's just all gone.
And then at this point, suddenly a lotus appears above the set.
Yep.
That's normally what happens. Is at that point, I go silent for a few moments as I fly upwards.
Record it again. All right, there you go, guys. That's your answer. That's your answer. I think we got time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. We got about 5 minutes.
I've got a good one. I've got a good one from Commander Jack on Discord. Possible Armco merchandise in the future. Talking shirts, mugs. I have said several times I will gladly buy many Armco mugs.
This is my fault. Basically, I'm only up to this one.
For once.
I did take on responsibility of sorting out the store for the 3 of us and also Armco a little while ago, and have completely failed to do anything useful whatsoever. And this would be a perfect opportunity to do a really quick shout out for anybody who has got any material that they would be willing to allow us to use on merchandise. That's part of the problem. It's just we've only got so much stuff we can stick on a shirt that looks cool, and I don't think we want to sell something that looks kind of just generic. We want, if you're gonna do it, you make it something that looks awesome. You make it something people actually want to wear. So there is that side of things as well. It's hard to come across that stuff. It's hard to come across good quality stuff that people are actually willing to let us use in that manner. So if anybody does have anything, hit us up. But yeah, I need to get back on it. Sorry.
Well,
that's me.
Actually, I have a little bit of news on this one. So since we hadn't had any traction on it, I've been talking, as of last week, a guy with Teespring, and I've actually been setting up something. So the XP Gamers, there will be a store over here. What's going to be on it, I'm not sure. I'm still looking for 2D artists. So if you guys have any skills with 2D art assets, drawing stuff, then shoot me a message. Because I was going to get some cool shirts. Got some ideas. Discord and myself and the Discord were talking about this last week and came up with some hilarious ideas. A lot of stuff based on being Texas stream. So there's going to be some of that shenanigans going on. But there you go. So a little bit of movement. I know that's been asked for a long time.
Coming soon, basically.
Potatoes, shirts, potatoes, little models, potatoes, everything.
Rock one of those.
Yeah.
Just the face. All right, we got another question.
Yeah, so if we got one more time for one more question, I guess this is probably the best one. Let's see. Zan the Third says, so where is the best place to send that fan art, community created content, SE builds? Twitter, email, or direct message here in Discord?
I'd say direct message on Discord. Whoever you're sending it to, and whatever
Discord,
it may be, send it to
and
Discord.
don't be offended if we don't get back to you straight away. I mean, I don't know about Shaq, but I work on a pretty strict mindset that I set aside some time to actually answer what I've been sent. Which means I look over at my Discord right now, and there's like just a stack of messages that I haven't read over the last couple of days because I didn't have time. Because I don't want to read one of those messages, not have time to reply or look at what it is you've sent, and then forget about it. So don't be offended if we don't get back to you straight away, but we do read this stuff.
Do you want me to expand on that slightly? I know, Shaq, we have a system where for those ads that people send, they send it to myself and you.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, go for
Would
it.
you want that as a system?
Yes.
So if you guys do want to send anything in, expanding on these shirts and mugs idea, or anything you want to send to these guys, send it to one of the mod team. Say, I would like to send this in. I have sent the message to Shaq, Wasted, or Morph, but I'm sending it to you just to say, that way we can give them a poke. We get more time, I guess, to look through messages, and we don't get as many as these guys do. Send it to us. We'll try and get it through to them if we can.
There's like 2 pages of messages right now on my Discord. So I don't respond to every message because it's just not possible to do so, especially messages that are like, hi. God, I think those are the rules now that we can't get those anymore.
Yeah.
Because they were just getting a little too ridiculous. People were just like, hi. What do I say to that? Nothing, because I don't have time. I gotta go read the next 15 messages. But yeah. I do enjoy reading or checking out the fan art stuff though, so please, yeah. And send Blitz, like he said, a copy so it doesn't get lost. Good.
I have taken on the role of sometimes complaints department and secretary.
Oh, thank you, Blitz.
Yes, thank you so much.
I know we've been plugging the Discord server a little hard here because that's my job, #shilling. But
that's what the Discord, this is about the Discord.
This is about the Discord, and this is the Discord. If you're not a member, come check it out because it's an awesome place, not just for the content from Shaq, Morph, and Wasted, but there's a lot. I mean, we've got 13,000 members, and they generate a lot of content on their own also. There's links for community events, for stream news. There's group survival discussion channels. There's Space Engineers, Stellaris, Star Wars Legends, and then there's a couple of private chat rooms for each of the groups, like the Wasted Cave and like Morph's Lab. And then there's a place just for people to post their own stuff, you know, like community creations and content, and people who are looking for groups of people to play with. So it's an awesome resource for people that want to hang out with like-minded gamers.
Indeed, that's the whole point for it. So make sure you're checking out that link in the description for all of our channels. Hopefully, in all of our channels.
Yes. I've already edited it like an hour ago. Thank you very much. It has been done. It's a privilege.
So, all right, guys. Unless there's any pressing questions left, are we good? I think we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to be in the Discord chatting away in the general chat after this.
Yeah, I'll be around as well. I have a bit of an edit to do for Engineer Wars, but looking at the time, I don't think that's going to be out today. So look forward to that perhaps next week.
I'll stick around for a second.
I'll be around for a chat.
Excellent. Oh, and let's one more plug. First Saturday of every month, speaking of events, we're going to be doing community events with FleetCom. So myself, Wasted, hopefully more, if his internet works out since he's so far away. We will see.
I will do my
best.
best.
Where possible, I will be on the opposite team. Do Shaq.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. That's war. That's war.
Oh yeah, the shade is all over now.
Oh, no.
It's done. It's done.
Can you take a moment to plug some of your series that you got ongoing, so that people, if they want to find more content from you guys, they can find it?
Yeah, we can do that. Wasted, you start first. I think you've got more scheduled content than I do going on right now, and yours is more community focused, like Engineer Wars, which I absolutely love the concept for.
Okay, well, right now for me, I stream every Monday and Friday, and then on YouTube, on Twitch, and then on YouTube's every Tuesday. Of course, I've got pretty much daily content otherwise, but those are the main ones. Those are the ones where you guys can get involved. On Mondays, I tend to play something else that isn't Space Engineers, because I do that for most of the rest of the week, something random. But if you guys really want to get involved, then the ones you need to be on are YouTube on Tuesday, where we're doing a new survival mode, going pretty much hardcore. What happens if you turn pirates and dogs and all of that stupid stuff that you would normally disable in the game settings on, and see what it's actually like. And so far, it's kind of been sort of fun, actually, weirdly. Maybe I like Dags, I don't know. But more importantly, on a Friday night, we record Engineer Wars live. Teams are welcome to join from Discord. We arrange that during the night. there is a team sign up that's available in the video description for that, but for the most part, a lot of the teams just come from guys that are right there on the night in Discord, in the Wasted Cave, just chatting away when I'm streaming. We get a team together. They do some crazy-ass challenge that I've set up versus another team, and then I make a video out of it for Saturday. And so far, it's been a lot of fun. People doing stupid stuff like sumo wrestling and building ships with no... have to fight, but have absolutely no weapons whatsoever, so you have to make your own weapons. What else did we do? Like cargo hauling. We did a Kessel run.
Cargo was cool. The Kessel run was, I think, my favorite so far, where they're like hunting down the spice crates, and they have to build their smuggling ship. And
dodging the cops.
Oh, and dodging the cops. I should have jumped in on that one. I'm normally messing around in his chat, by the way, because it works out perfect. You're doing that, and I'm editing something that night, so I'll normally throw it up on the second screen and troll the chat a little bit.
Although saying that, Tex, I know, is due a bit of his work schedule alternates and goes a bit weird, and there's definitely a week coming up where I would love to have a guest expert on board in the name of Captain Shaq. We'll have to arrange that at some point.
Yep, we'll figure out the schedule there. You miss anything?
No, I think that's it, man. What about you?
What have I got on? Well, we still got the Stellaris Season 3 going on, so we're leading what was the Rebel Alliance, which is now the Republic, against, well, the Deep Dark, all kinds of threats out there. And of course, the patrons have been the fleet. So they're all the fleet captains for all the ships. So it's kind of our group story. And people have been submitting their own like trailers and stuff, telling the story there. And today we opened up the RP chat in the Discord, try to move it around from the YouTube channel too. Because we hit, I don't know if I told you guys this, we hit the YouTube comment discussion limit. 500 comments in one discussion is what you're limited. I didn't know that until we hit it for just the RP stuff. That's how crazy that is, right?
Apparently that's the thing. Okay, so in one reply thread, 500 is the max.
500 is the max, and we hit it. So we're trying to get that. We're moving that over to the Discord.
Still, I mean that's just a really, really cool series that you're the way you're putting together. I really enjoy the kind of added RP to what would be. You know, it's a let's play series, but with some real story behind it, some real lore behind it, and a lot of work put into making kind of some interesting intros and outros, and including the community. So that's definitely worth checking out.
There has been.
It's been really very cool.
It is definitely like an extension of how I've always played a 4X game. Like you always had that story in your head going, because without that, I don't know, Stellaris seems kind of hollow. But if you've got a story for who your people are, the decisions you're making, and then now I get to incorporate the community into it with votes and like what are we? How do we respond to threats? So anyways, Stellaris season, that's still coming out 2 episodes a week up until we finish it, because I know they got an expansion, I think, coming out soon. So we're going to try to get that toward the end so we can start the next season up. Still spotlighting the Battlefront mods because the Empire War got a big update. So we're going to be watching the Steam Workshop for the new mods that come out, and then the old ones that are getting updated for it. Public at War just came out yesterday or the day before that. So I'm going to try that out. What else we got going on? Sunday streams, me and Tex and whoever wants to join. It's kind of open crew. Sunday chill streams, mod all the things. I've used a ton of names for it, but it's basically let's test mods and build our beautiful ship, which we're aboard right now, the Skyforge, which is the name you guys chose.
The best one was my one where I was there, 100%.
The best one where I was building an asteroid base and then had to evacuate it because you showed up and brought the pirates with you.
Yeah, and there were missile explosions and everything. I love the fact that I joined for literally one episode, and on that episode, everything exploded.
We literally built this ship because that happened. We were like, well, now what do we do? I had to leave the base because it's constantly under pirate attack. Well, here we go. So that's a series that's going on every Sunday. And then we've started the new Skyrim immersive wizarding series with Ordo Ral. It's kind of an RP Skyrim series that's got 240 mods installed. And he's just a crazy character, and I'm having a ton of fun with that. So that's the random one. I don't know what day that's going to be going on.
Should have gone to the pub.
Should have gone to the pub. That's his his rule in life. Should have gone to the pub. Obviously, we're still covering the Star Citizen stuff that's coming out. Battlefront's coming up, so we're going to be doing some stuff with that. It's going to be a ton of fun. And then just mod content.
Too. I would love to try, have a discussion with you on the new Battlefront and like totally play it with you, Shaq, when we get a chance to, because we haven't had a chance to talk about it officially. So
no, we haven't. Now that you're back with like a real internet connection, we gotta chat and geek out about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I've played it, man. I've played it.
Me too.
So you played it too. All right. Well, yeah, we definitely have to talk. So there you go. there's always some stuff going on, and there's going to be a community recording for the new in-universe Red Squadron series of videos that I actually met Wasted and Morph for the first time in a game with that one. So this is like episode 5 of that. We're going to be doing that sometime later the week. So keep an eye on the Discord. That'll be fun. Our Imperial TIE Fighter pilots that I'm going to need to recruit for that one should be good. So I think that's more or less everything. X3's coming out once they get an update to it. We're waiting for 1.0. So when Mick gets that update, I always see those questions. I know they're there. Yeah. Morph, now that you're back with internet, you got to make some content, dude.
I know, and you.
Nah.
Okay, first goes Wasted. He's got this long list, and then goes Shaq. He's got this even like twice as long list of all this content he's doing. And
Hey, yeah, that's because I missed 2 stuff up. I wasn't aware we were doing like full shilling. I didn't realize the whole deck was out.
He's just fully shilled.
I missed the Rimworld and the Stalker, the crazy places.
And here comes Morph. Morph is not producing anything at the moment.
I got a YouTube channel, guys. I used to make videos on it.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna come back to YouTube, and
There's a plan.
Yes, there is a plan. So I don't have any like specific series content planned aside from group survival. That's hopefully going to be coming up again soon. But I would like to bring back like the Friday night streams where I would build something on stream, and also some of those tutorial videos I used to do. But if you guys have anything you miss or you'd like to see out of my channel, you can also let me know. I obviously am not as active as these guys, but I mean, I've just moved to another country. I'm still really getting settled. I'm actually trying to get money together to fix up my office and really make it special. I think I sent a picture on Discord before. It's not like super spectacular, to be honest. Anyway, that's kind of like the plan. Not a super long plug, but if you want to check me out and see more of my explosions and mess ups, I mean, you could see some of my previous content. It's still there. So yeah.
There you go, guys. There you go. That's what's going on. So 1 year anniversary for the Discord is a thing. Hopefully we'll be making another one of these. We will be making another one of these in a year, for sure. Yeah, there you go, guys. I've had a great time on the Discord. I've absolutely loved this community and the people that I work with. So thank you so much, Wasted. Thank you so much, Marv, for helping me put this together, guys.
This has come together great, and I think we definitely need to thank, more than anything else, the awesome mod team that we have making sure that this stuff actually works, because there's no doubt we don't have our time ourselves to actually make this all function. So it's only between an awesome mod team and, to be honest, an awesome community where it's always been a source of pride how few bans we ended up having, because everyone that joins is of the same mindset. People seem to be getting on and just having a lot of fun together. That is fucking awesome. So thumbs up, guys, really.
So Blitz, Tex, Bard, freaking Tryon, Wolfie, all of you guys, just you're all awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, big shout out to Bard, Wolfie, and Tryon for kind of moderating the Discord and you guys' streams chats while this has all been going on.
Yeah,
it's been hectic for them. It's been hectic for them. So thank you for that.
And all the people who are joining us, welcome to the Discord. And for the fleet officers, the fleet operations officers that are running all the events, you guys make it. So we have got stuff to do every week. So, yep, keep an eye on the announcements tab for more of the, the gaming community nights that are going on the Discord for everybody who's just joining us.
I mean, yeah, if you guys haven't gotten involved with the community yet, you guys have to get in there and check it out. I mean, there's lots of people in there, but most importantly, we get involved with the community. We talk to you guys and we have events. And these guys who are in here with us now, helping moderate this event and helping set this whole event up, are great. And they'll talk to you too, and they can help you get involved as well. So thank you guys again, all of you in here in this channel and all of you listening on any of the streams. You guys are amazing. You've made this possible. I'm so happy we decided to start this community, and I'm so happy that we made it to a year and we're this big. It's kind of nuts.
Indeed. Any parting quotes? I'm sorry, Wasty, go for it.
Yeah, there was a parting quote. I just got to give a quick shout out to Wedgie, as somewhat looked out of and left out of all of this business this evening, as he is sort of there and about and helping me out on streams. But I have to give him a quick thanks because he is a legend as well and has been moderating my chat the whole night too. So
nice.
Quick shout out to him, and yeah, guys, I look forward to what we can do in the future. If you guys have any clever ideas, we're better together. And the more community feedback, community ideas we get, the more cool stuff we can get about, whether it be videos or events we can do with you guys or whatever. Just come on, have a chat with us, have a chat with the cool guys that are already there. We've got a really, really good bunch of guys on Discord, so come join us.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys, well, in all the videos and in the Discord in like 2 minutes.
in the videos, Discords, and future streams. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Yeah, been great fun. Good night.